Hello and welcome to a DFS strategy video for the 2023 Wells Fargo Championship. My name is Eric and here at SweetSpotDFS, it's all about trying to hit the optimal lineup every single week. And in these strategy videos, what we like to do is take what we learned in the preview video and then apply the Marquee Tee Times and the anchor buckets to really narrow down our player pools, select the correct golfers that we're anchoring around, and build lineups. And that's what I'll be doing at the end of this video. I'll be building some lineups. So if you've got like 2 to 4 golfers that you would like me to build lineups around, I will do that for you. And yeah, that's going to be the entirety of the strategy video. Now, some reminders that I like to do giveaways. I ran one yesterday. We had a monthly and a weekly giveaway. So I'll put that on the screen right now. If you want a chance to win some money every single week, I run a weekly giveaway Mondays. During the preview video, I give away $5 for free. All that you need to do to get an entry into that giveaway is participate on the channel. So here during the live video, if you comment in the live chat, you get 1 free entry there because you only get 1 free entry per video. So you get 1. So come in, leave a message. If you want me to build lineups for you again, I will certainly do that. That counts towards participating. Of course, I already put out 5 videos earlier last night, I should say. If you go comment on each of those videos, you get 1 free entry that way. That way it helps out the YouTube algorithm, and that way I can reward you for participating, for helping out. So that's available to you. And then, of course, monthly giveaway is exactly the same thing as a weekly giveaway. All of my weekly giveaways get, I should say, all the entries for the weekly giveaways get added to a monthly giveaway. So it doesn't matter when you participate, you will get credit and we'll put your name in the running to win the monthly giveaway. Now, one caveat with the monthly giveaway, it is goal driven. You can see the goal all the way there, over there to the left. I'm trying to get to 550 subscribers by the end of the month. If we hit that goal, I give away the $50 you see up there. If not, then I give away a t-shirt that has the SweetSpotDFS logo that you see here. Of course, mine is mirrored, so it's looking like it's backwards on your end, but it will come to you the right way around. I promise that. But that's my way of rewarding you for participating. So those are the 2, weekly, monthly giveaways. I also have a prize picks rebate, basically, like I like to call it. If you check out the description of this video, you'll find a link. I'll send you to prize picks. If you sign up using the promo code SweetSpot and put some money in your account, you're going to get $20 from me. Now, Prize Picks is going to match your deposit up to $100. So if you put 20 in, you'll have 40. And of course, you get 20 back from me. So that means you're kind of playing Prize Picks for free. But go ahead, take advantage of the deposit match up to $100. You're still getting 20 from me regardless. It's a pretty fun way to play. And again, I said this during the preview video, every Friday they run a flex, like a protected flex play. So if you put up to 20 bucks into any of the contests you're running for flex, if you don't win any money, you get your $20 back. So you essentially get to play every Friday for free with the chance of winning a lot of money. So you could use that $40 or 20 of the $40 every single Friday and try to, hit a lotto ticket basically. So that's available to you again in the description. And then, of course, I like to, well, first of all, let me go ahead. I'm going to pull this up. Yeah, you're going to see the optimizer because I had that ready to go. But I have a cheat sheet that's available to you. You can find a link to this sheet in the description. When you're here, you can use the filters however you'd like to. Or if you would like to copy this data or, use it for your own personal use or anything like that, make a copy. That way you get all the data that I have here for free. Again, it's just I guess it's a reward for coming to the channel, checking out the videos, because you can have all this data however you'd like to use it. It's yours if you go in here and make a copy. Of course, I do have the bucket system on here as well. So throughout this video, you can follow along with me, whether we're looking at the bucket system or we're looking at the DraftKings cheat sheet. So available to you again in the description. There's a link for this spreadsheet. And I had it up earlier. I'm also providing an optimizer. I'll be using this to build lineups at the end of this video. If you want access to this, I can send it to you while I am live. I have a backup optimizer that I'll send to you. So if you are in the chat, I see Joanne. Good evening, Joanne. Nice to see you as well, or nice to see you again. If you're in the chat and you want access to the optimizer, I will send it to you. So just reach out to me on email. You see it right there. Just came across SweetSpotDFS@gmail.com. Hit me up there. Say, hey, I'd like to use the optimizer. And then you can also send something in the chat here saying, hey, I emailed you. And then I will double check my email and send you the optimizer. So that's available to you. Again, I'll be using this at the end of the video. Let's go ahead and start this thing. So the first thing that I like to start with is kind of going over the SweetSpot ranks. I didn't even have this all set up for you. So really the whole purpose of looking at the SweetSpot ranks is to try to find value. You can already kind of tell that the rankings you see in column A, again, this is available to you on the cheat sheet. So everything that I'm showing you, you can see there. Not sure why it's, oh, it's by the Marquee Tee Times right now. Okay, that's we'll get to the Marquee Tee Times. But we have our rankings over here. You can already see what is value and what is not. So Max Homa, he is what, the 6th ranked or the 7th ranked salary golfer. He's the 12th ranked golfer in my SweetSpot model, which means he's overvalued, in my opinion. Of course, based off my rankings. Now, what I like to do, what I always like to point out is like, let's go to the $8,000 mark. So you can see Brian Harmon. This is line 23 on the spreadsheet, or yep, line 23. This is kind of our mark to see if anyone lower than $8,000 climbs up into here. And if they do, that is kind of what I would say tremendous value. Because this is what your every golfer 8K and above are your top 21 golfers in the salary pool. So it'd be a top 20 golfer, not priced as a top 20 golfer. Now, before I actually sort this out by the ranks, just to go over quickly what goes into my model, I like to look at OWGR. We're looking at 2 types of grasses this week. Now, usually when there's an overseed, I would much rather use like an overseed condition, which I don't have. So I usually don't include grass. But this week, why not include Bermuda? And why not include POA? So there is a POA overseed. If you're not aware of that, check out the preview video that I put out or the course and information video that the smaller video. I think that might be 20 minutes long. I can't remember. But I say it right away during that segment. So I go over the grass. It is overseeded with POA. So I am including that. So there's Bermuda and POA. And I have course history. Sure, it says TH, which stands for tournament history. You can ignore that. It is course history. I've excluded the years that Quail Hollow was not used for the Wells Fargo Championship. So those are out of the course history model. Only Quail Hollow course history is included, and only at the Wells Fargo Championship. I did not include the PGA Championship in 2017. And then I'm looking at season-long bogey avoidance, birdie or better, driving distance stats. I'm also looking at recent form DK average, recent form average, which is their average finishing position over the last 7 weeks, and their round-by-round scoring average. Again, that's the last 7 weeks. And then I'm looking at 1 full calendar year's worth of data when it comes to their DraftKings points, their round-by-round scoring, their round under 70 percentage, their cut made percentage, their DK top 10, and if any golfer's out, they get a minus 1,000 point penalty. But I did not see anyone that was out before jumping on here. Then we get our score over here, which is a live calculation. So if we change any of these numbers, this will also change. I do not have a ranking that will be, what's the word I'm looking for? It won't calculate when this gets recalculated. So you would just have to resort or sort by score. If you were to change this in the spreadsheet, that is, the cheat sheet. So I'm just mentioning that. So now that you know what goes into the model, I can sort this by ranking, and you can see my number 1 golfer is Patrick Cantlay. He's not the number 1 salary ranked golfer. He's actually the number 3 salary ranked golfer. So I do believe Cantlay is a value this week. Then it goes Rory, number 2 in my model. He's number 1 in the salary rankings. And then Xander, number 3. So, you know, me and DraftKings, we might not fully agree on the top 3 golfers, but we have the same golfers in our top 3, which it makes sense. And then you have Tony Finau, 4th in my model. He's actually 4th in the salary ranking, so it all works out. Now we go down to line 23. Remember I said anybody who's less than $8,000 that jumps up here, I would say is tremendous value. Well, we have Chris Kirk and Adam Scott. I don't see anyone else. Oh, I'm sorry, Keith Mitchell right underneath. Keith Mitchell, $7,800. That's pretty close to $8,000, so it's pretty on par for value. But still, these are the 3 golfers I think are pretty good value. What's really interesting is seeing Ricky Fowler at $8,800. Maybe he's a bit overvalued in this field, which I weigh season long and recent form pretty equally. His recent form is on fire. Like he's arguably one of the hottest golfers coming into the week. So maybe we need to bump him up when it comes to building lineups. Maybe give him like a 100-point bonus or maybe a 50-point bonus. We'll see. We'll see when we get there. But just wanted to point that out. But yeah, the values, I really like Adam Scott this week, by the way. $7,300, 17th in the model. I almost feel like the guy is safe. He's almost kind of, he's 42 years old. He's kind of rounding into like the Matt Kuchar. Like he's a guy who can hit the ball further than Matt Kuchar, but you trust him in cash games. Like that's how I look at Adam Scott. So for $7,300, I mean, I don't want to fall in love with a golfer that's $7,300. Adam Scott, I could almost anchor my lineups around this week. I really like Adam Scott this week. So we'll see when it comes to building lineups. I'm going to be completely biased because I want to fit him in whenever I can. So if you're building lineups with me out there, maybe you should check my bias when it comes to building lineups with Adam Scott in it. But anyways, that is how I'm feeling about Adam Scott. And that really rounds off the rankings. We don't need to go much further into what goes into the rankings, what the golfers are, you know, how they're ranked or anything like that. I want to go right into the Marquee Tee Times because that is what I use my rankings for primarily. And also, you know, for the optimizer to build lineups. If you're unaware of this segment, I've been tracking this since before Phil Mickelson won the PGA Championship at Kiowa Island. So what is that? Almost 100 weeks? Maybe it's 100 weeks. It's 2 PGA Championships ago or 3 PGA Championships ago. I don't know exactly when it is, but I feel like it's around 100 weeks or more. I've been tracking it since then, which is kind of funny. Like if I've been tracking it since then, I should know the amount of weeks. I just don't. I do remember how often golfers from the Marquee Tee Times don't finish inside the optimal lineup. So the rule that I have that comes with the Marquee Tee Times, remember we're looking at every 3 golfers are in a group. And from these groups, I say pick 2 to 4 groups and then select 1 golfer from each of the groups. Actually going to zoom out just a little bit so everything fits on one screen. The reason being, you select 2 to 4 groups, 1 golfer each. So if you like this Patrick Cantlay, Seth Theegala, Max Homa group, pick one of those guys to build your lineups around, and that's it. Don't select more than 1 golfer. So this is 1 group, and I say I like Patrick Cantlay. Find a second group. Well, I wouldn't mind pairing him up with Victor Hovland. So I've got my 2 groups that I've selected. Now, let's say I liked 3 golfers. Do not pair him up with Cam Young. Do not pair him up with Colin Morikawa or Sahith Theegala or Max Homa because they're all in the same groups of the golfers you've already chosen. So you have to pick a 3rd golfer outside of that. Let's say you like an 8K golfer and Tom Kim. There you go. It works out. This follows the Marquee Tee Time logic. And the reason why I say pick 2 to 4 groups, 1 golfer each, is because of 90% of contests that date back to that Phil Mickelson Kiowa Island PGA Championship. 90% of those years, or I'm sorry, of tournaments from that time have had 2 to 4 of these golfers in the optimal lineup. And that's all that I'm looking for is the optimal lineup. So if you're one of those that are not trying to have a perfect lineup, that are not trying to win a GPP or anything like that, this isn't for you. Like you certainly can pick as many golfers as you want in the same group. Be my guest. But I'm going to play with the numbers. The numbers tell me 90% of the time, don't pair up a golfer in the same group. Sure, you could say this might be that one. This might be a part of the 10% of times where you either want multiple golfers from the same group, or maybe you want more than 4 golfers from the Marquee Tee Times, or less than 2. I understand. If you're going to make any of those stands, be my guest. But how it works out for me, 90% of the time, you want 2 to 4 golfers from the Marquee Tee Times, and you don't want to pair up a golfer. You don't want to pair up golfers in the same group. So, like, kind of when I first looked at this, Patrick Cantlay was one of my favorite golfers of the week. I mean, he's number 1 in my model. Everything it just feels good. And you know what? If I'm picking Patrick Cantlay, I am okay not playing Theegala or Max Homa. I was already out on Max Homa anyway, so I'm kind of glad that he's in a group of a golfer that I like. So this is just an easy, natural way to fade, some of these guys. I think Sahith Theegala might be somewhat popular this week. I don't really care too much about ownership, but I can move on from that group. The next group, I actually have to make decisions because I like all 3 of the golfers that are in here. So, like, I like Hovland, I like Cameron Young, and I like Morikawa. So I have to make a choice there. Which golfer do I want to pair up Cantlay with? And if I don't go Cantlay, which is totally fine, maybe I go McIlroy down here. I can still grab from, both of the groups that I just kind of highlighted already. So if I wanted like Homa or Theegala to go with McIlroy, makes all the sense in the world to me. I also could pair up one of those guys with either an 8K golfer here with Cameron Young or Victor Hovland or even Colin Morikawa if I wanted to. But that's how I'm going to be building lineups this week. An interesting group down here is Justin Thomas, Ricky Fowler, and Keegan Bradley. Making decisions there is going to be interesting. This helps me not do like the full balance build, where you might start with Justin Thomas and Ricky Fowler and then maybe add Keegan Bradley just, for safe measure. One time in my whole time tracking the Marquee Tee Times, have there ever been a group that has had 3 golfers in the optimal lineup? One time. So it's possible. It's possible these 3 guys could be in the optimal lineup, but it is very, very unlikely. So that's what this whole sweet spot process helps me do, is limits me on bad combinations, or pretty much forces me not to have a bad combination, and it makes me kind of consider certain lineup builds based off of the Marquee Tee Times. And again, 90% of the time it's correct. So I will follow that. And look at my guy Adam Scott down here with Sam Burns, Shane Lowry. I'm sure once we get Shot Like Harden in here, we're going to have some words because he's going to want to play Sam Burns. And I just like Adam Scott too much to not play Adam Scott. So I'll probably be fading Burns this week. Another interesting group, Tony Finau, Corey Connors, and Harris English. Now, I don't necessarily mind Tony Finau winning last week. I think, I don't know, he played that pretty stress-free. I don't think there was a lot of, lack of a better word, stress that he had to really go through winning that tournament. He had to fend off Jon Rahm, but he just looked in control the entire time. So him coming here, I don't think there's really anything I need to worry about other than maybe jet lag. But I don't mind playing someone like Tony Finau. It's just the fact I like Corey Connors and Harris English a little bit more at their price points than I do Tony at his. Like, Corey Connors and Harris English help build lineups, whereas Tony is one of those you got to make a stand. Like, do you want to play Tony? Do you want to play 10K golfer and Tony? Or do you want to play Rory, Cantlay, or even Xander? Like, I think that's a much harder choice than just using Corey Connors or Harris English as glue pieces for our lineup. $79 and $7,100, pretty easy to do. So it's kind of an easy fade for me on Tony Finau. Again, it's not because I don't think he's a good fit here. It's not because I don't think he's a good play here. We got to make choices when it comes to building lineups. So I personally like someone like Patrick Cantlay, Rory McIlroy, and even Xander to start my lineups. I'd rather pick those 3 over Tony. So when it comes to that group, I think I can fade Finau and either go with Connors or English and be just fine. I'd be just fine with that. And I'm not really going to talk about the other two groups down here, Hatton, Siwoo, and Trey Mullinax. You have a take here, go for it. I'd say maybe if you do go with like Hatton, don't pair him up with Siwoo or Trey, and vice versa. And then Sungjae, Davis Riley, and Lucas Glover. It is worth noting that this group, Sungjae, Riley, and Glover, actually tied the group below them, McCarthy, Putnam, and Beau Hosler, in their total ranking points. So this technically is also a ninth ranked group. The only I made a personal tiebreaker. I gave the tiebreaker to Sungjae, Davis Riley, and Lucas Glover primarily because of Sungjae and Davis Riley. I like these two golfers more than I like the three golfers here, McCarthy, Putnam, and Beau Hosler. So if you want the optimizer and you're like, I would rather the ninth group be the three golfers that I actually excluded. So if you want to remove Sungjae, Riley, and Glover, this is all you'd have to do. First of all, find them on the optimizer, delete their number 9, and then replace, them with another group, with the Beau Hosler and Denny McCarthy group. So that's how you do that. But anyways, those are the Marquee Tee Times. 2 to 4 golfers from the Marquee Tee Times. Again, it's every 3 groups. You can find this on the cheat sheet. I have this available, so you can find it right here. Column O, group rank. Just go ahead, put a filter on there, and sort by the group rank. And you see there's a group 1, Patrick Cantlay, Max Homa, Seth Theegala, and so on and so forth. So that is available to you on the cheat sheet. If you want to find your anchor plays that way, using the Marquee Tee Times, be my guest. That's what I have it there for. So go ahead and do that. Let me catch up with chat before we go into the anchor buckets. Gabe, what's going on, man? Are the SweetSpot sickos ready for a big week? I'm so excited to get out there. That's right. Gabe is going to be at Quail Hollow. I am depending on Gabe to give me some really valuable insight before I start building lineups tomorrow. Fino was playing the par 3 course with his kids every night down in Mexico. So yeah, it was pretty stress-free. Yep. And when you get there, can you build me a lineup with Cantlay, Im, and Theegala? You got it. Now, I think you just missed it, actually. Did you know Cantlay and Theegala are playing together? I can build a lineup with them, but it doesn't follow the SweetSpot process. I can certainly build a lineup, though. We can make an exception. I have no problem doing that. But I just want you to know it does not follow the Marquee Tee Times. Anyways, moving on. We're going to the anchor buckets next. I don't even know if we have many to talk about. We'll double check. Again, you can follow along with me on the cheat sheet. You can find that in the description, a link to it in the description. I'm just going to hide some of this fluff that we don't need to look at. And I am going to put a filter on the bucket system. Again, you can do the exact same thing following along with. And basically what I'm going to do is go to the max projection right here. And again, you can do this using the filter on the cheat sheet. Grab here, go filter by condition, and we're going to go greater than or equal to 2. So again, filter by condition, click on the little box below it and say greater than or equal to, and then we're going to go to 2. And then the next piece we're going to look at is this column that says bucket totals and this year. Now I'm going to go less than 30, which I think leaves us with, leaves us with 3 buckets, actually. I'm actually going to clear the rest of them and just select the 3 that are under 30. You can also do it by the conditional way that I just showed you with the max projection. But yeah, there's some hardy numbers in here. So I'm going to exclude 30 and above, and we're going to go with below 30. So we have recent form 1, recent form 2, and strokes gained 1. So we have 3 anchor buckets to kind of find our anchor plays to build lineups around. So what you would like to do, or what I would have you do on the spreadsheet, is go to recent form. First of all, put a filter on here. Go to the recent form column. Select the little 3 lines. I don't know what you want to call that. That's in a upside down pyramid. Clear out everything and just select 1. So there we go. Recent form 1s. I'm going to sort by salaries. We want to find, I mean, I'm projecting 1 to 3 golfers from this bucket to be inside the top 10. 1 to 3, which in turn kind of means select 1 to 3 golfers to build your lineups around or to include in your lineups. Now, one thing to note, this is already incorporated into the optimizer. So you can see 1 to 3 is being selected under recent form 1. When we start building lineups, that's what we'll be looking at. So we need to find 1 to 3 golfers. Well, my eyeballs first go to Patrick Cantlay. They also then go to Sungjae Im. And I was already talking about Ricky Fowler that I liked. Outside of that, I mean, there's some good names just to consider. I even mentioned this during the preview video I put out yesterday. There's a lot of good names to select from here. So I could very easily see up to 3 golfers, maybe even more, to be inside the top 10. But to finish in the optimal lineup, I think 1 to 3 is a solid projection. It's just, who do you think are going to be the 1 to 3 golfers from here? I mean, I kind of like the idea of like Cantlay, Im, and Fleetwood, starting there and building lineups from there. Because I don't see my guy Adam Scott here, so you know, I already know I kind of want to include him already. Adam Scott, he'll be in another bucket I'm sure we'll be talking about soon. I don't mind starting here. I know I see Shot Like Hardens in the chat. I know you're looking at Sam Burns. I know you are. So maybe a Cantlay Burns Fleetwood lineup, or maybe not. Maybe it's just Cantlay Burns. I don't know. I do know that Burns is playing with Adam Scott though, and I would much rather play Adam Scott than Sam Burns. Nice to see you anyways, Shot Like Harden. I'm gonna continue on and I'll get back to chat. So 1 to 3 recent form 1s. I believe, yeah, it's 1 to 3 recent form 2s as well. So basically on the same page, what we can do is remove the 1 and get to 2, recent form 2. And we want 1 to 3 from this range as well, from this bucket. And there's my guy, Adam Scott. So I kind of already knew that we're going to see him there. What's really interesting, Victor Hovland is in this group. Jason Day's in this group. Justin Thomas, Cam Young. There's a lot of popular golfers in this group. And I don't mind playing any, obviously we know I don't really care about ownership. But this is another, I don't know. I can see the 2 recent form buckets, recent form 1 and recent form 2, the ones that we've just been talking about. Pairing, you know, mix and matching from there, I think is a wonderful idea. Like if you wanted Patrick Cantlay as your 10K golfer and then Jason Day as your 9K golfer, so we just skip past, you know, Sungjae Im. And then we go to the 8K golfer on the other side, which off the top of my head, let's just use Ricky Fowler. So you go Cantlay, Day, Ricky Fowler, and then we can come down to Adam Scott, and we've satisfied the projections for the anchor buckets for recent form 1 and recent form 2, and we've got a solid core. Like that's a solid core of 4 golfers. It can be done any way. So for those that want lineups built, maybe keep that into consideration. Not saying you have to, but it might be beneficial to do so. So 1 to 3 from here, there are more golfers to talk about and really interesting golfers to grab. So keep that all in mind. We can move on to the last anchor bucket, which is strokes gained 1. Now for this, I think the easiest way to do, first of all, go back into your recent form buckets, select all. So we're selecting all the numbers. And then in the strokes gained bucket, let's just sort A to Z, because that's exactly how the color coordination is done. Makes it easier to look at the golfers that we're talking about. And it is still by salary. So our best golfers are here. Strokes gained 1 are all buckets are positive. The projection is 2 to 5, I believe. Yeah, 2 to 5. So pretty insane projection. Now, again, 2 to 5 is how many golfers I think are going to be finishing inside the top 10. We have all 4 of our 10K golfers. We have a majority of our 9K golfers, a majority of our 8K golfers. The likelihood of you being able to build a lineup with 5 of these guys, very unlikely. Probably unlikely to build a lineup with 4 of these guys. So I'm looking at like 2 to 3 golfers that I want to build my lineups around in here. And we've already talked about a few of them, right? Like I like Cantlay, I like Day, I have no issue playing Fowler. Like we were just talking about those 3 golfers. They're in this bucket naturally. So just thinking about building lineups this way, in my opinion, might be a little too easy. and I hope it gets us in the right track. Did you know last week the buckets were 100% successful? The projections for those buckets. It's down to us to select the right golfers, but we're on the right track. And this week just feels like there are too many puzzle pieces fitting in perfectly. So hopefully, I mean, we're going to start building lineups here very shortly. Hopefully you have 2 to 4 golfers you want me to build lineups around based off of what we just discussed. We're done. We're done talking about the Marquee Tee Times. We're done talking about the anchor buckets. We're on to building lineups. So let me catch up with chat. I'm going to go ahead and sort this back out by salaries. And we'll do this, put some music on, and start building some lineups. So Gabe goes, just realize Cantley and Thigala are in the same group. That's okay. Just saw that. Let's do Cantley M. Sure, we'll build some Cantley M lineups. Oh no, scratch that. I'll come with another group. No worries, man. No worries. No worries. Joanne says hello, Gabe. Okay, let's do Finau M Cam Young. That's a solid group. And of course, Charlie Harden says Burns and Homa. Yep, we'll get there. Scott over Burns is crazy talk. Hey, that's just my feelings. Just my feelings. We have to make stands somewhere, right? Go ahead and put some music on. I'm gonna turn my volume down so it's not blasting my ears. Let me know if the music is too loud, by the way, once it starts playing. Let's get on. Let's get on with building some lineups. Can I get louder? Sure. Okay, so we have first one. I'm gonna leave yours till a little later, okay? Charlie Carden. We're gonna go with Gabe's and do Finau M and Cam Young. Cantley, Hovland, Fowler, Joanne? Sure, I'll do that. Let's build like 5 lineups each, and then we'll just keep it flowing that way. So if you have even more combos, let me know. Let's go ahead and do this. Okay. So first group. Now, also let me know if you don't like certain golfers. Like, just reach out to me right away. Say remove whatever golfer you want from the list. So building a lineup that follows the bucket system with a Finau, Sungjae Im, and Cam Young start, adds in Chris Kirk, Adam Scott, and Brendan Todd. I don't mind like a Brendan Todd at this event, so that's a decent lineup. We'll go to the next one. We sub out 2 of those guys. We go with Montgomery and Seamus Power. By the way, Adam Scott's going to be selected quite a bit. He's rated very well in my model, and obviously the optimizer uses my model, or at least the metric that comes with my model. If you don't like Adam Scott, let me know like right away. This applies to anyone else. Joanne, I know you're in line for me to make lineups. Shot like Harden, it doesn't matter. He's not going to be selected because you selected Burns. So anyone else that wants me to build lineups, remember that Adam Scott will be selected a lot. So if you don't like Adam Scott, let me know and I'll just kick him out before I build lineups. So I've given you enough time, Gabe. If you don't want me to build any with Adam Scott, speak now or forever hold your peace. Anyways, building the next one. Taylor Montgomery and Seamus Power. I don't mind going back to Seamus Power. You know, he's been kind of lately. This is actually like one of my favorite lower 3 combos because Chris Kirk, Adam Scott, and Taylor Pendrith show up a ton. Like I was building lineups earlier. They kept popping up with whatever combination that I had up top. I like that a lot. Like I like Pendrith for his upside. He seems like he's a volatile golfer, but I like that here at the Wells Fargo Championship. Gabe, when you're out there, if you could follow maybe not. I don't want you to waste your time following Pendrith. Go see all the big names. That's what those practice rounds are for. Shot Like Harden says, I had a monster lineup last week with 3 6K golfers paired with Rom, Finau, and Batia. Dude. I mean, that was what the GPP winning lineup was. You just missed out on the right 6K golfers. Do you remember who they were by chance? And did you have 6 of 6 that made it through the cut, or just 5 of 6? Anyways, moving on. I'm gonna build 2 more, and then I'm gonna take Adam. Oh, Adam Scott already got removed. Okay, I was gonna say I'm gonna build 2 more, remove Adam Scott, and see what else we get. But here's a great transitional lineup, like Finau, Im Young, Keith Mitchell, KH Lee, and Ben Griffin. I don't mind that at all. That's a pretty solid lineup. I like Ben Griffin this week too. Tano Goya, Carson Young, and Kevin Roy. Oh man, Charlie Carden, have you gotten into Rainmakers at all? Dude, I loaded up with Carson Young last week, and I got like 1 or 2 Kevin Roy cards. Carson Young won me some money in Rainmakers. As much money as I put into it, like getting all the cards and stuff, I won that much from contests. So it's like I just got free cards. And then the starter pack I got was the John Rahm one. Dude, I'm wondering if it's easy money, like it's not utilized, or not so much utilized, but it's not optimized yet. People don't know about Rainmakers. I'm very close to being hooked. Very close. Like the one thing I look at almost every single day is to see what new cards are popping up. Anyways, here's a decent lineup. It's got my boy Adam Scott in there with Keith Mitchell and Adam Svensson. So starting with this trio, Finau, Im, and Cam Young. I mean, it's a loaded field, so almost every lineup is probably going to look good. Here's a solid one: Chris Kirk, Adam Scott, and Matt Wallace. Let me go ahead and remove Adam Scott and build another lineup. Yeah, you can see like Adam Scott is at 1082 in the metric. Nobody else really is above 1,000, above or below him, so he's always going to be selected. Finau, Im, Young, Chris Kirk, Emiliano Grillo, and JT Poston. I also like JT Poston this week, by the way. I've played Rainmakers once a couple weeks ago. Yeah, so I'm like in between feelings with what happened last week, because last week literally here, I'll pull up my DraftKings. Actually, I'll take a screenshot of what won me money last week. You're gonna shake your head, dude. It is stupid what I won money on. Let me zoom out. Zoom in. Oh. Okay. Check this lineup out. This lineup, I captain jeez, come on. Grayson Sigg. Wesley Bryan was in there. He missed the cut. Charlie Hoffman, Bo Hosler, and Carson Young. You need 4 rare cards and 1 core card. And I won $20. Like that's dumb. This is dumb to me. How I won money with this stupid group or with this stupid lineup makes no sense to me. This tells me like Rainmakers is not optimized. Like I jumped on with Back 9 Bets, Byron Lindeck. I joined in with his conversation with Joel. I forget what his last name is, but they were talking about this yesterday, and I was like, these cheap cards, like these rares, and they're like, yeah, you don't really want to spend money on those rares because they have no value. It's like, but if they're winning me money, how is it not giving me value? Anyways, I thought it was crazy. It just made no sense to me. Moving on, let's continue talking about lineups. We can continue talking about Rainmakers if you truly want to, but I'm just going to keep this going. Finau, Im, Young, Taylor Moore, Chris Kirk, and Will Gordon. I like that lineup a lot. And one more, and then I'll get on to the next. We'll do some Burns Homa lineups. You think last week was the most successful you've seen the 6K range? Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, there's enough. Well, I wouldn't say that. I think the most I've ever seen a 6K represent the top 10 of a leaderboard was 4. I think there were 4 6K golfers, and I can't remember what tournament it was. Like outside of majors, outside of like the Masters and the weird pricing that was there for a few of those years. I think it was like 4. So I want to say there were 3, or were there 4? Because the anyways, I'm not gonna pull it up, but yeah, to have a GPP winning squad having 3 6K golfers, I don't know when the last time I saw that was. So yeah, I kind of agree with you on that. And then the last group that I want to build with this combo has Keith Mitchell, Chris Kirk, and Ben Taylor to go with Finau, Im, and Young. Last week, Ben Taylor did well. He was in the GPP winning lineup. He's been rating really well in my model for the last, 2 months, I want to say. Yeah, Ben Taylor seems pretty decent. All right, go ahead and clear everything out and build some Max Homa and Burnsley lineups. Now, this is nostalgia, right? This is just good vibes for you, Shot Like Harden, because I don't feel good vibes from Max Homa this week. Homa, JT, Sam Burns, Keith Mitchell, Wyndham Clark, and Chris Kirk. That's a pretty solid lineup. Or Max Homa, Cam Young, Sam Burns, Matt Kuchar, Keith Mitchell, Chris Kirk. That's a pretty good cash game lineup. I mean, that's a pretty solid just any lineup. I like that one. That one works out pretty well. You know what? I'm not going to play many Max Homa lineups. This is the one that I'm okay saving. And I'll play one Max Homa lineup, and I think I'll just slot this in a winner take all somewhere. Try to get my money back if I don't win anything big anywhere else. If you didn't see my tweet on the Twitters, kind of created a spreadsheet to show like how I build lineups for contests, or not so much lineups, but how I go about selecting contests. I have like a $50 allowance. I wouldn't say allowance. I give myself a $50 allowance every single week to play DraftKings. So I'm trying to win at least the $50 back, and that's where that tweet comes from. Anyways, yeah, I create 100 plus lineups, and the way to do it is to have those 25-cent winner take alls. That's kind of where I was getting at with what I was saying. I'll probably put this lineup in one of those, most likely. Max Homa, JT, Sam Burns, Keith Mitchell, Chris Kirk, and KH Lee. So to me, KH Lee added to this lineup, I feel like gives you all the leverage in the world. How many people are going to have KH Lee in their lineup? Not many. And a lot of these golfers here, fairly safe in selecting. Leaving $600 on the table also kind of gives you all the leverage in the world too. But you guys have issue with how much money is being left on the table. I can close that gap, by the way, pretty easily. Here we go. This actually is one of my other favorite lineups. Holy moly. Does the other one have Chris Kirk in it? It did. Homa, Hovland, Burns, Fleetwood, Kirk, Pendrith. Now, if it didn't have Kirk in it, I probably would save it. But the fact that Kirk is in here... Okay, hold on. Let me go ahead and remove Pendrith. I actually want to remove Kirk from it because I just don't want to see that show up as much as it is. I would rather have that combo with another guy. But that was a good lineup. And it doesn't really work out. But we include Jordan Spieth now. So we got Spieth, Homa, Burns, Fleetwood, Grillo, Pendrith. It's actually a pretty good lineup too. I had no issue with that lineup. Homa, Im, Sungjae Im, Sam Burns, Fleetwood, Mitchell, and Benny Ann. It's another good lineup. I mean, I can't save these lineups. I'll get myself in trouble by saving all the lineups I build for you guys because they all look like this is a really good lineup too, dude. Homa, Thomas, Burns, Mitchell, Rogers, Denny McCarthy. Do I have any of those guys in this? Keith Mitchell is? And that's okay. I don't mind Keith. Yeah, we're saving this one. Damn you. Damn you, Charlotte Cardin. Damn you. It's a solid lineup. Okay, no more Max Homa lineups for me. I don't want to play Max Homa this week. Just don't want to do it. I'll build 2 more. So this one, Homa, Thomas, Burns, Mitchell, McCarthy, Ben Griffin. I like that one. Homa, Sung Jae, Cam Young, Sam Burns. Wow. Seamus Power and JT Post. Look at that. You get a lot of firepower in this one. You not only are we actually, normally how it was going was you had Burns and Max, and then you either had another 9K or another 8K, and then it dropped to golfers below Sam Burns. Not this one. This one has Homa, Young, Burns. 4 studs, Seamus Power, JT Poston. No issues with that one. That one's a really good one. Jim. What's going on, Jim? I miss a couple weeks and I see your min salary is 45K. When did you change that? I just haven't changed this. So what you don't see is like the end of every tournament, I run an optimal lineup, or I run to see what the optimal lineup is. So I clear out all these conditions right here. I set this down to 45,000 because obviously the optimal lineup doesn't really care about salary exposures, and I don't want to I want to make sure that I get the optimal lineup, and I don't have the pricing set in here. But honestly, this should be 49.5 or 49,000. But yeah, I can also change this for whoever wants me to build lineups for them. I just you called me out on it, I missed it. Anyways, moving on from there, Homa, Hovland, JT Burns, Wallace, Svensson. That's a GPP monster of a lineup right there. Matt Wallace. I don't know if I can get to Matt Wallace. Here's a good one. Homa, Young, Burns, Taylor Moore, and Matthew Neesmith. I kind of like Matthew Neesmith this week. I don't mind Matthew Neesmith. And then that'll be it for that one. But that's a great lineup. All right, we'll get on to Joanne's lineups. Anyone else that's in the chat, if you want me to build you a lineup with 2 to 4 golfers, let me know, and I will do so. Let's see here. Joanne said, Cantlay, Hovland, Fowler. Love that. That is a hell of a grouping. Ricky Fowler. I like this combo quite a bit, Joanne. By the way, Adam Scott, like I said early on, if you don't want me to have Adam Scott in these lineups, let me know now, and I will remove Adam Scott. But with this, we've got Cantlay, Hovland, Fowler, Scott, KH Lee, and Taylor Pendrith. I do like Pendrith enough to say I want to drop KH Lee, or not so much drop, but I want to remove him. Ian Christensen, what's going on, man? I haven't seen you in the chat before. Nice to see you visiting the channel. Can a few of your builds include leaving $2,000 to $1,000 on the table? In one of your earlier shows, you mentioned past optimums, the Wells Fargo left around that much on the table. I certainly can. I mean, I will be of service of anyone wanting me to do that. The only issue that I usually talk about this in other videos is that I'm very much a numbers person, and when you leave that much money on the table, you actually open yourself up to like millions and sometimes even trillion, or billions of additional lineups you can build. So like what I mean by that is, if you limit how much money you leave on the table, so let's say we can only leave let's say we only leave $200 on the table, that like really shrinks your player pool or the combinations of lineups you can actually build, because only so many lineups can be built in between 49,000 or like 49,800 and 50,000. Only so many. Like, it really narrows how many lineups you can build. Now, when you leave a ton of money on the table, like when you force it to, because I guess I don't know the correct word, but when you do say you want to use at least $48,800 up to $50,000, so you have that $200 cushion, it basically has to bring in these golfers up here. But when you leave $1,000 on the table, you actually exclude this, and now we get this huge player pool. You know, we get 137 golfers that I don't know how to do like the here, hold on. I have a way to show you. And it's wonderful you brought this up, by the way. This isn't, to me, this isn't really slowing anything down. I want to show you this so you have it, so you have this information. So we bring a calculator up here, and let's say, you know, we have here, we leave $1,000 on the table. What's our threshold? Let's just say we want to select, how about from here down? So 6 of these. Let's see, what does this actually give us? What's the salary? 49.2. So we're really close already. So let's do, can we do this? $48.6. So we'd be leaving $1,400 on the table. So let's say this is our threshold right here. So basically what we do is we grab this golfer and everyone else below him and say there's 140 golfers. So 140, this is how we figure out combinations. So 140 times 139 times 138 times 137 times 136. Let's see how many numbers we have. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 5 times 135. So basically we have 6 trillion combinations of lineups we can build if we leave that much money on the table. So, and it's not perfect, right? Like we probably wouldn't select a lot of the guys in the 6K range. So let's just do it a different way. Let's grab everyone from $8,400 to 7,000 flat. So that ends up being 48 golfers. So 48 golfers, you just do the same thing. So it's just 48, you just trickle on down. 48 times 47 times 46 times 45 times 44 times 43, and that's our 6 numbers. We still have 8 billion different combinations we can build doing it that way. Whereas if you were to say, okay, I want to make sure we grab one 10K golfer, right? So one 10K golfer, there are 4 of them. So you take 4. So it's just 1. We're just doing it one time. So we're going to multiply that by how many 9. Let's say you want to do the 10, 9, 8, 7, 7, 6 approach. So then we grab the 9K golfers, which I think probably the easiest way to do this is take the summary page that I have and just look at our salary numbers here. Shows us right there. So 7, there are 7. So then we multiply that by 7. And then 8 by 10. And then 43 we do once, twice, and then one 6K golfer. There are 80 golfers, I think, that are in there. Technically, I mean, we could also narrow it down and just say just 41. Let's just do that and say we're not going to select anyone from the low 6K range. Now we have 20 million lineups. So it's 8 billion versus 20 million. Now, that's just all nerd talk, and you know, you don't need to know all of that. But when you can limit the amount of lineups you can build, and you kind of already know the makeup of what you want to do with building your lineups, the easier it is to find the optimal lineup, or more or less a realistic optimal. Because if you follow along with me enough, you'll know that I do keep track of the sweet spot optimal. I also keep track of a realistic optimal, which is just why burden ourselves with leaving a lot of money on the table. When we can just make it easier for ourselves and limit the amount of lineups we can build, you know. So just wanted to share that in case no one else saw that, and I might even clip that and put it into one of these videos, because I'm always interested in combinations. You know, when you have so many options, you kind of become enslaved by the freedom that you have, and it's difficult to make choices. Whereas if you limit the amount of choices you can make, it's much easier to make your selections. And obviously we're all different, so maybe that doesn't apply to you, but all right, that nerd moment is over. Let's see here. By the way, Ian, thank you for jumping in the chat and spending time going through that with me. I know I didn't have to do that, and you could easily left at any moment in time. Because that is a bit much, but I did want to explain it, so appreciate it. Ryan, how are you doing? Hey, let's see what we got this week. I'm starting my lineups with Homa and Xander. Thoughts? I like it. I think it works out. I think it follows the Marquee Tee Times. And Ian, you're welcome. Charlie Harden, I never leave more than 600 unless it's a no-cut event. Yeah, I agree. I also, even no-cut events, I've noticed that with no-cut events, not leaving much money on the table is more beneficial than leaving, like, you see more optimal lineups closer to 50,000 than not. So anyways, Ian, if you want me to build lineups that have $1,000 to $2,000 left on the table, I certainly can. If you just want to see what it looks like in following the bucket system and stuff like that, I certainly can. No problem with that. I do have to go back to Joanne's lineups because I kind of cut her lineup building short. So let's go with Cantlay, Hovland. What was it? Fowler? Yeah, Ricky Fowler. So let's build a couple more with Joanne. I do believe I did cross out KH Lee. So the first lineup coming back: Cantlay, Hovland, Fowler, Scott, Poston, and Benny Ann. Joanne, if you're in the chat still, let me know about Adam Scott if you want me to remove him. I'll build like 3 more. And after the third one, if Adam Scott's hasn't been removed, I will remove him. Cantlay, Hovland, Fowler, Kirk, Scott, Neesmith. I don't mind Neesmith. I think that's a really good lineup. I don't think I can do Matt Wallace, so I'm just going to go ahead and skip past that. This is an interesting one. I don't know if I can get to Hadwin, but this does provide a little... I mean, there's leverage points here. Hadwin, I'm sure, will be low owned. I imagine will be low owned. And then Benny Ann and Ben Griffin. I just think that combination together, maybe it will be used. I don't know. Kirk, Adam Scott, Tyler Duncan. That's interesting, having Tyler Duncan show up. Let's go ahead and remove Adam Scott, and I'll build 2 lineups without Adam Scott. And then we'll move on to the next combination. Cantlay, Hovland, Fowler, Kirk, Hadwin, Davis Thompson. I don't mind going back to Davis Thompson. I mean, we haven't really seen him since the American Express, but I think it's an okay play. All right, so Hadwin is showing up a bunch here without Scott in there. So I might have to remove Hadwin because I don't really... Yeah, let's not build a lineup with Hadwin. And the last one that I'll build here, unless it's disgusting. No, this is a really good lineup. Cantlay, Hovland, Fowler, Cam Davis, Seamus Power, and Adam Svensson. I don't mind that lineup at all. So that was your Hovland, Cantlay, Ricky Fowler lineups. Let's see what the next ones are. I believe, if I'm correct, we are building some lineups with... Hey, Ryan, do you want me to build lineups with Homa and Xander right now? Let me know. I'm going to move down to Jim Lemoyne, who wants Cam Young, Woodland, and Benny Ann. I like the way that you think, Jim. Finding like the mid-core plays and seeing what 9 and 10K golfers will be added to them. I like that. Gary Woodland and Mr. Benny Ann. Cantlay, Young, Fleetwood, Mitchell, Woodland, Benny Ann. Let's see here. I might have, Jim, if you're still in the chat, I might have you just determine which golfers you want me to remove. Because both Woodland and Benny Ann are less than the other golfers that are going to show up. So it's going to be really difficult for me to like figure out which golfers you might like up top. because I think you already have the bottom covered with Benny Ann and Woodland. But let me know. You know, if you don't like Fleetwood, let me know you don't like Fleetwood or Mitchell, or even Cantlay. Like, we can remove Cantlay from here. Yeah, let's remove Fleetwood for now. I'll just wait for you to, or actually Mitchell. I'll remove Mitchell. Let me know if you want Mitchell back. Cantlay, Young, Tyrrell Hatton, Taylor Moore, Gary Woodland, Benny Ann. It's an interesting lineup. Taylor Moore gets added. We all know that I have that superstition that does not like me playing golfers together that are the same price point, so we skip Taylor Moore and go on to the next one. And we have Taylor Montgomery that does the same thing. Cantlay, Cam Young, Fleetwood, Woodland, Montgomery, and Benny Ann. I'm going to remove Montgomery from here. But this is a solid lineup. I don't mind this lineup at all. I really like it, actually. Oh, you want Fleetwood out. My bad. So one last one here. Finau, Cam Young, Seth Theegala, Gary Woodland, Brendan Todd, and Benny Ann. Yeah, let me reintroduce Keith Mitchell and let's remove Fleetwood. And if you do want me to keep Mitchell out, I can certainly do that too. How do I feel about Fitzy this week? I've got no issues playing someone like Matt Fitzpatrick. I just think, like, there are few courses on the PGA Tour that are just like, you know, like a template for certain golfers. And I'm not saying Matt Fitzpatrick can't fit or can't play well at this course, but his way of playing doesn't fit the template of this golf course, like course fit. We're essentially talking about course fit. I think at his price point, he's a... I don't know. So what I'm having struggles, or what I'm struggling with here is giving you kind of like the, you know, Matt Fitzpatrick is one of the best golfers in the world speech versus he's not a very good course fit, which one or the other can supersede the other. You know, like, because he's not a course fit doesn't mean he can't play well here because he's one of the best golfers in the world. But if he wasn't one of the best golfers in the world and he had a good course fit, he could play really well at this golf course. So I don't know which one prevails. Like, I don't know which one is going to kick the other one out. Like, if you're not a good course fit, is that going to take down your being the best golfer in the world? And being the best golfer in the world, is that going to kick out course fit? Like, does it matter? I don't know. So it's a very 50-50 feeling to me. I don't care one way or the other. Ian, I see your email, sir. Let me send you the optimizer. If you have any questions while using this, let me know. All right, email's on the way. You'll get the optimizer. You got to have the full version of Microsoft Excel if you didn't already know. But again, let me know if you have any questions on how to use it. But yeah, agree on course fit. He's just been so hot. Yeah, so it's a coin flip. Honestly, he's one of the best golfers in the world. He can do well at this tournament. And we're talking about Matt Fitzpatrick, by the way. I'm reading an email from Ian, who was just in chat. Ian, so his question was, my additional question as a follow-up would be, what if we had narrowed down our 6K golfers to maybe 3 or 4 dart throws we've identified and only include them? Here's another thing I'll have to say. Never fall in love with a 6K golfer. So if, let's say we were doing like 3 to 4, you know, basically we did that, we did the combinations, like how many combinations you can build. So if we only took from $8,400 to $7,000, our combinations was like 8 million or something like that, or it was 20 million versus 8 billion if we included all the 6K golfers. if you were to narrow down 3 or 4 of those, basically, I think what you could do is shrink. I don't have the calculator up anymore, but I think you go from like 20 million. If that would end up being our number though, with like the 41 6K golfers, essentially whatever that number was. So if you were to rewind, multiply that number before I multiplied it by 41 by 3 or 4. So that's what you do with that total number. You take whatever that was and multiply it by 3 or 4, and that's what you'd get for your true number of how many combinations there were. So that's how combinations work. Okay. Let's see here. So we were building what? Cam Young and Gary Woodland lineups. Oh, and then also Benny Ann. Sorry, Jim. Have you done Rory Hovland? I have not yet. So just, okay, so here's another decent lineup. Shoffley, Young, Thigala, Woodland, Hadwin, Benny Ann. I don't like Hadwin, do you? I'm gonna kick him out. You let me know if you don't like Adam Hadwin, and I can build along with that. Or I could build with him in it. Shoffley, Young, Thigala, Woodland, Todd, Benny Ann. I don't mind that lineup. Looks like we're kind of sticking with that core up top. I'm gonna kick out Brennan Todd. See what we can do with that. Finau, Young, Hatton, Mitchell, Woodland, Benny Ann. I like this lineup. This is a pretty good core that you had, Jim. You had Cam Young, Gary Woodland, and Benny Ann. You're getting all this different combinations of 3 golfers. So this includes Finau, Hatton, and Mitchell. I got no issue with that. I'm actually going to remove Hatton because I also don't think he's a very good course fit here, despite what Mr. Back 9 Bets Byron Ledeck says about, or I don't even know if it's him, but the yardage buckets being a long iron player. I don't really see it I'll believe it when I see it, when it comes to Tyrrell Hatton. Spieth, Cam Young, Keith Mitchell, Gary Woodland, Benny Ann. I think this is the best one yet, Jim. I like this lineup a lot. Do I save it? No. I'll be saving too many lamps with Mitchell. So I think the optimizer likes Mitchell because he's in friendly buckets and his metric is pretty decent. Okay. I haven't heard back from Mr. Ryan McQueen about Xander and Homa, so I'll move on. Joanne says Cantlay, Hovland, and Sam Stevens. Okay. She was next on the list. And then Jim, I will do Rory and Hovland. So Cantlay, Hovland, Stevens. Mr. Stevens is where? I don't remember where I saw his name. There he is. Flat 7K. Okay. Cool. Eyeballs. Barry's in the chat. He has come to give us, hey, Ian, this guy's the 6K whisperer, although he's only been correct like 20% of the time, which is still good. But outside of the magic the first week that he gave us our 6K golfers, Barry, I don't know what happened, man, but it kind of fell out of favor. Cantlay, Hovland, JT, KH Lee, Brendan Todd, and Samuel Stevens. Sam Stevens is actually really low on my metric. I'm gonna kick out Todd and KH. Actually, I'm gonna kick out Todd first, and then I'm sure KH Lee will be used, and then I'll kick him out as well. Cantlay, Hovland, Thomas, KH Lee, Seamus Power, Sam Stevens. Yeah, I thought KH Lee would show up, so we'll kick him out. Ooh, I got some people crying in the chat. 100% toasty last. Hey, there you go, Barry. Where were you during the live chat? You and Shot Like Harden just disappointing me. I could have had, you know, all the 6K leverage in the world, and you're nowhere to be found. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I thought I could count on you. I mean, I'm here every Tuesday. Every Tuesday I'm here. You just decide not to show up on me. Unbelievable. Cantlay, Hovland, Fleetwood, Chris Kirk, Sam Stevens, and Taylor Pendrith. Joanne, I like this lineup a lot. Yeah, although I don't like salaries being together, that's a superstition, and we can call that stupid, which obviously we can easily. I don't mind this lineup regardless. If there's a golfer you'd like me to kick out, let me know. I'm going to kick out a golfer, but you just, if you didn't like someone else, I can certainly kick them out. So who are our 6K golfers this week, Barry? Don't keep it to yourself. Share. Come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Let's hear it. Dude, Barry, I'm with you, man. Streelman, Champ, Hadley for 6Ks. I've been talking about this a little bit earlier on in the video. I've been doing Rainmakers. I have added 3 Champ cards, 3 Hadley cards, and 2 Streelman cards. Because now that doesn't, the 6K doesn't apply in Rainmakers, but for cheap cards, dude, I like those golfers, and I'll play them in my contest. I think they're going to be decent plays. So yeah, absolutely. Going back to Joanne's lineups here. Cantlay, Hovland, Fleetwood, Kirk, Benny Ann, and Sam Stevens. There we go. We got some Benny Ann action in there. Let me kick out Chris Kirk. Ryan comes in the chat and just says Toasty. I'm not sure if that means we just add Toasty to the lineups or what. Cantlay, Hovland, Im, Power, Benny Ann, Sam Stevens. All right, let's get rid of Power. Some Streelman Rainmaker cards. Yeah, I also, I mean, I think I have one rare card of his, then maybe a core or 2. I can't remember exactly what I have, but I actually have him captaining one of my lineups, one of like the core contests. I have him as a captain in one, just to like, you know, have like basically a participation points, just because I had leftover cards, so I just put him there, and he's probably the best one. We'll see if that one does any well. Probably won't, but you never know. Cantlay, Hovland, Thomas, Hadwin, Griffin, Stevens. I don't want to see Hadwin that much. I know he's going to keep popping up. I'll build 2 more and we'll move on to the next combination. Cantlay, Hovland, Fleetwood, Clark, Benny Ann, Sam Stevens. There we go. There's a lineup I like. I really like Fleetwood this week, so I don't mind seeing Fleetwood this much, but if anyone else, when I build lineups, does not want to see Fleetwood, let me know. I'll be biased and want to play him, but if you didn't like Fleetwood, I can kick him out. No JT for Joanne? Okay. Cantlay, Hovland, Im, Wyndham Clark, Sam Stevens, Trey Mullinax. All right. Here's a very risky lineup, having a 10 and 2 9Ks. I don't mind it though. This still follows the 10 9 8 7 7 6 model with 1 substitution. I do not mind that whatsoever. Let's see, who do we get rid of here? Probably Mullinax, right? Cantlay, Hovland, Im, Benny Ann, Ben Griffin, Sam Stevens. I like this lineup too. I'm going to remove Sungjae though. Barry goes, nice. Got a free pack during Masters week and got Rory. Of course, he sucked at the Masters, but he's my captain this week. See, and I started last week and my starter pack had John Rahm in it. So I'm feeling real good about that. I think it all depends when you start, honestly. And I wouldn't start Rainmakers. If I was giving this advice, I probably wouldn't start Rainmakers unless Scotty Scheffler was playing or John Rahm. And I would prefer John Rahm over Scotty Scheffler because, I don't know, it just seems like John Rahm is going to play in more events than, say, a Rory McIlroy. And not to, like, you know, burst your bubble or anything like that. It's just like, with Rainmakers, it's obviously an investment. You're investing in who's going to play more golf, essentially. Like, if we had Sung J M, I think all of us would feel really comfortable with that. Although he hasn't really been playing that many events this year so far in comparison to other years. So, by the way, Joanne, I like this lineup too. I'm sure Ben Griffin's going to keep showing up, which I might have to kick him out. But I hope you do well this week, Barry. Having Rory as your captain, beautiful, wonderful. Here's a good lineup. I like this one. Cantlay, Hovland, Harman, Wyndham Clark, Benny Ann, and Sam Stevens. No problems there. There you go, Charlie Carden. I probably, if I were to start Rainmakers, I would have picked Rory. Because I would have imagined Rory would have played more events, and I would have felt more comfortable with him going into majors. And also at the Masters, I was very in on Rory McIlroy as well. But now that weeks have gone by, I only say what I say about Rahm and Scheffler because of what we've seen over the last couple weeks. And how would you have known during Masters Week that was going to happen? So, no worries there, Barry. Patrick Cantlay, Victor Hovland, Brian Harman, Wyndham Clark, Benny Ann, and Sam Stevens. Did we already see this one? Or maybe we saw it without Brian Harman in it. That's probably what we saw, right? I'm going to go ahead and kick out Brian Harman and build another one. Cantlay, Hovland, Connors, ooh, Wyndham Clark, Denny McCarthy, and oh, I like this lineup a lot. Okay, we're saving that one. Joanne, this is my favorite one. Yeah. Cantlay, Hovland, Connors, Wyndham Clark, Denny McCarthy, Sam Stevens. I like that lineup a lot. Very nice. Let's see. Let's go on to the next one. So Jim Lemoyne wants Rory and Hovland done. Jim, you still in the chat, by the way? Just want to know who if I should contact you if you want some golfers kicked out of your lineups. I can certainly do that. Rory. Victor Hovland. All right, perfect. So this first lineup I like a lot. Also, Jim, let me know, do we still want Fleetwood out of our lineups? Can't remember if you're the one that said Fleetwood out. Yes, you did. So I can kick Fleetwood out, but this first one's nice. McIlroy, Hovland, Fleetwood, Kirk, H. Lee, Taylor Pendrith. I do like Pendrith. This is like a carbon copy of lineups we've already done, where I brought back Pendrith and then took out KH Lee. Anyone from here that you want me to kick out, like Chris Kirk, Fleetwood, KH Lee? Do you want me to build another lineup that might have Taylor Pendrith in it? Like, I can go ahead because he's being excluded. You can see the N next to his name. Let me know. Also, anybody else have some combos you want me to build with? I think I'm just gonna, we can just load up. We can put a bunch of lineups in the queue to build, and then we'll go from there. Let's see, what do I have? I've got Rory and Hovland. Shot like Harden. I missed you saying the optimizer 3 favorite guys: Kirk, Scott, Mitchell. You're right. Okay, we'll kick out KH Lee. And I'm just gonna bring back Pendrith. If you don't want Pendrith, I'm sure you'll be kicked out the next lineup. But yeah, give me like 2 to 4 golfers to build lineups around. If you have a couple different combinations, let me know. I'm pretty good for like the next hour and 40 minutes, so I can be here that long. If not, if no one wants some lineups built, then I can obviously end a little bit earlier. Joining late, is the Google sheet right? The bucket system sheets show a lot of zeros. Are you talking about right here, the last year buckets? Because I would just ignore the last year buckets. We're not looking at any of those because of this tournament not being played at Quail Hollow last year. So you can ignore this one, but the rest of the buckets are spot on. These are all correct. Jim, this is a pretty decent lineup. And by the way, nice to see you, old Elvis. Nice to see you back in the chat. McElroy, Hovland, Fleetwood, Kirk, Scott, Rye. Okay, yeah, we want Fleetwood out too. I forgot. Let's bring back Rye, because I don't mind Rye. Last week numbers are low. Let's see here. So basically this column should always equal 10, and this column should always equal 6, within each of these buckets. So this one equals 6, this one equals 10. And obviously when we incorporate everything, I went over this in the preview video, but once we incorporate everything, it's just, there are so many golfers in that last week's 6 bucket, and like 90% of the strength of field points go towards that bucket. So this is your highest quality bucket. I think it's safe to say we'll probably see somewhere between 4 to 8 golfers inside the top 10 from this bucket. And that's just basically how these projections work, is just projecting the top 10. So I do agree that it seems weird, it seems off, but at the same time, the quality of the other buckets aren't nearly as high as this one, and the success rate isn't all that great either when it comes to any of these buckets from last week. So it's also different this week with it being an elevated event. So it just, we're bringing in golfers that normally, you know, wouldn't have played this event, and also those that took a break from playing the Mexico Open. Like, really, outside of Scotty and Finau, or not Scotty, Jesus, John Rahm and Finau last week, there was really no one at that event. Like, that's kind of a disrespectful to say, but when it comes to elite golfers, there wasn't anybody there besides Finau and Rahm. So this all makes sense to me. The last week buckets make sense to me. The last year buckets make sense to me. But yeah, if you have any more questions like that, let me know. It's all about information. If I can give you as much information on the process, I will certainly do so. Jim, going back to your lineups: McElroy, Hovland, Theegala, Adam Scott, Brendan Todd, and Taylor Pendrith. So Pendrith will get the boot on this one, and I'm sure we'll see a bunch of Adam Scott. Do you want me to get rid of Adam Scott? Because I certainly can. But it looks like with McElroy and Hovland, Theegala is being joined in a bunch with Adam Scott. So maybe if we exclude Adam Scott, we won't see as much Theegala, but we never know. McElroy, Hovland, Theegala, Kirk, Scott, Matthew Neesmith. There's your 10, 9, 8, 7, 7, 6. Ooh, here we go, Barry. We add in a little Streelman. This is organic. I didn't even have to force Streelman in. McElroy, Hovland, Theegala, Kirk, Scott, Streelman. That seems like a solid lineup. Like that lineup a lot, actually. Saving it. I will probably be doing a lot of McElroy, Hovland lineups. I don't mind saving that one. I'm going to try to refuse to save a bunch, but we'll see. McElroy, Hovland. Trying to see. Something just really weird happened on my computer. Like, there's some things that popped up that shouldn't have. Just trying to make sure the stream's still running. Yeah, we're good. McIlroy, Hovland, Kirk, Cam Davis, Denny McCarthy, and Adam Scott. Wow. Okay. It's a 10, 9, and 4 7s. Pretty solid. Barry R. Crazy to see Fowler in the high 8K with the strength of field. I get he has great course history. I'm sure he gets squeezed in between two chalky players, JT and Young. Might be a good GPP play. I don't disagree. But I do believe he's going to be... I think what ends up happening is Fowler will actually bring down the ownership of JT and Cam Young around him. Because his recent form, he's like one of the hottest golfers on in the field when it comes to recent form. I say probably one of the top at least 7, if not top 5. I don't think I don't think Fowler is a bad play even at $8,800. Like, he's not very good in the model, but my model also takes into the full year as well as the OWGR. There's a lot of things that are holding Fowler down in my model because of he just doesn't have a great calendar year worth of stats, but he does have good recent form, like really good recent form. And if there's one thing we learned in the preview video, recent form outweighs course history at this event. Like, when it comes to the buckets, you can select any of the course history guys. Like, it's pretty watered down when it comes to projections of top 10 finishes, but for recent form, it's literally the top recent form buckets are the only ones that you want to be grabbing golfers from. So it would tell me recent form is a little bit more important than course history this week. Yeah, I mean, this is like one of the few events where I've actually liked the 8 and 9K range. So actually, I shouldn't even say so much the 9K range. I think it's like $9,200 and down I like. But I don't mind playing like a Fitzpatrick. I will skip Homa. I don't mind playing Spieth or Morikawa. And going down here, here's some golfers I'm low on. I don't like Lowry that much. I've never liked Lowry when it comes to just... Anytime I play him, he burns me. And anytime I don't play him, he does well. I don't care to guess when a good time for Shane Lowry is. I can just ignore him. Like, I didn't play any Finau last week. I didn't care that he won. That's how I feel about Lowry. I don't want to play Lowry, and if he were to win, so be it. But I absolutely hate rostering someone like a Finau or rostering someone like a Lowry and them burning me than me not playing them and them do well, if that makes sense. But I'm down on Lowry, probably, and I'm down on Homa. That's about it. Out of this range, I'll play anybody. Probably a little low on Hatton and maybe Tom Kim. So those 4 golfers, but everyone else I like a lot. So yeah, I'm right there with you. I could build a balanced lineup and just be good. You know, obviously I like to do the 10, 9, 8, 7, 7, 6, but I could be good just building with the 9 and the 8K golfers that I just selected. Rory, Hovland, Thigala, Hadwin, Benny Ann, and Ben Griffin. Benny Ann's in there for you. I don't like Adam Hadwin. I'm sure he'll be selected multiple times here. I think we've seen this lineup before, maybe in a different way, but McIlroy, Hovland, Thigala, Kirk, Scott, Duncan. Tyler Duncan, that is. That's not terrible. I like this lineup. McIlroy, Hovland, Thigala, Scott, Todd, Aaron Rai. Aaron Rai is a good 6K play, by the way. Again, don't fall in love with a 6K golfer, but there's, you know, there's a 6K golfer you want to put in GBP. I don't mind it being Aaron Rai. McIlroy, Hovland, Kirk, Riley, Denny McCarthy, Adam Scott. This is a really good lineup too. I like this lineup a lot. Let's do 2 more. I'm going to actually kick out Scott, and I'm also going to kick out Adam Hadwin because I already know he's going to be selected if it's not Adam Scott. So let's do that, and Hadwin's just above him, actually. Okay. McIlroy, Hovland, Corey Connors, Taylor Moore, Brennan Todd, Ben Griffin. I like that lineup a lot. Maybe Brendan Todd, not so much, but hey, I don't mind putting in a veteran like Brendan Todd into a lineup. But how about this? We'll do that. We'll take him out and actually add Ben Griffin back. McIlroy, Hovland, Harmon, Taylor Moore, Chris Kirk, and Davis Thompson. I don't mind that one. And then the last one here. Joanne, by the way, you're welcome. I didn't even see you said thank you. That last lineup was McIlroy, Hovland, Thigala, Harmon, Power, Mullinax. That's an interesting lineup. Not a terrible GPP lineup. Let's see here. So we just did Rory Hovland. Let's see, who else do we have on here? Just kind of going top to bottom. People putting in their lineups or their combos of golfers. I'm not seeing anything, so if anyone, if I'm missing any of your lineups, let me know. Young, Burns, Day. Do you want me to build a lineup with Young, Burns, and Day? Because I certainly can. Let's go with Ryan's. Spieth and Justin Thomas. Okay. Gonna get the friends together, huh? Might as well put Fowler in there and have the spring break boys. Spieth. Justin Thomas. Okay, shot. I'll do that after I build Ryan some of these lineups. Finau gets added to Spieth, Thomas, Scott, Griffin, and Penrith. By the way, Ryan, like I've said to everyone, Adam Scott will be selected a bunch. If you don't want him, just say remove Scott. Also, any other players, just say remove and whatever the player's name is, and I'll remove them. But I'll keep running unique lineups until, you know, it. Well, I'll build like 5, but you let me know if you want anyone removed. Spieth, Thomas, Thigala, Mitchell, Wyndham Clark, Adam Scott. That's not terrible. Spieth, M, Thomas, Thigala, KH Lee, Taylor Pendrith. There we go. There's a different one, and it doesn't include Scott. I'll kick Scott. Spieth, M. Yeah, I like this lineup. This is a good one. It's a pretty good balanced one. We're gonna give the boot to Scott. Spieth, Thomas, Young, Mitchell, Moore, Lee. That's pretty good. That's another balanced lineup that has a lot of value. Spieth, Thomas, Cam Young, Keith. That's a good lineup. Sure, I'm gonna save that one. Spieth, Thomas, Thigala, Mitchell, Taylor Moore, Adam Hadwin. I don't care for Adam Hadwin, but this is a solid lineup. Spieth, Thomas, Thigala. So that just seems to be like a core. I didn't even select Thigala, but he keeps popping up. Corey Connors, Keith Mitchell. Oh my God. Here's the most balanced cash lineup build of all time. I'm saying, dude, I'm gonna put this in a league lineup. Easy peasy, lemony squeezy. It just, I don't know what screams more cash lineup than this. Seems so safe. Maybe not so much. Yeah, it just seems safe. Like, I don't know. What do you guys feel about that lineup? If Shot Like Harden's here, does this get the sexy lineup approval? Because it sure feels like it. I don't know. I've been tricked before. Makeup does a lot of things. Spieth, Thomas, Thigala, Mitchell, Moore, and JT Poston. There we go. But if I remember correctly, Ryan, you're not a huge JT Poston fan. Am I correct on that? Also, do we want to leave $800 on the table? Is that something you're comfortable with doing? Spieth, Hovland, Thomas, Fleetwood, Brendan Todd, and Benny Ann. I like that lineup a lot as well. Spieth, M, Justin Thomas, Taylor Moore, Taylor Montgomery, Brendan Todd. How many Taylors are too many Taylors? Do we know? Should I add a Ben Taylor to that lineup? Yeah, that's what I thought. Ryan. All caps. I hate Poston. Yeah, I know. I remember. There we go. We added Ben Taylor this time, but we don't, we're not including the other two Taylors. So this one has Jordan Spieth, Sungjae Im, Justin Thomas, Tommy Fleetwood, Keith Mitchell, and Ben Taylor. You want Fleetwood kicked out of this one, or do you like Fleetwood this week? Fleetwood might be showing up a bunch, or Keith Mitchell. Keith Mitchell is showing up a ton in these lineups. Spieth, M, Thomas, Mitchell, Taylor Moore, and Andrew Putnam. Andrew Putnam goes from what, 90, or no, he was $8,900 last week down to 7,000 this week. Yeah, I'm cool with this lineup too. Yeah, Ryan's really telling us how he feels about Poston. Hey man, we all feel that way, right? Wasn't it Jason Day for me for a while? Hey, guess what? Poston or Shot Like Hard. Day is all, he's off the blacklist for now. I rostered him and he didn't withdraw. He didn't miss the cut. Nothing. I think he had a top 10 finish, so he's back in the good graces of SweetSpot DFS. I have no issue playing Jason Day. Let's see. Who do I remember you having blacklisted? Gosh, I can't remember. Who is on your blacklist? And while we're talking, why don't we grab blacklisted golfers from everyone? Who's blacklisted on some of, or who, for the people that are in the chat, who are your blacklisted golfers that you're not going to play? No matter any circumstance. Doesn't matter if they're 6K or anything. You're just never going to play them. I want to know. This lineup's pretty solid. Did I already say? Yeah, I already say this one, didn't I? Yes, I did. See, hey man, we all can evolve. We can, you know, we can grow. You've been keeping track. You rostered Day like 4 weeks in a row. I can't believe it. I don't know what I'm watching right now. Jordan Spieth, Justin Thomas, Tyrrell Hatton, Keith Mitchell, Taylor Moore, and Denny McCarthy. You like this lineup, Ryan? This isn't a terrible lineup. I like this lineup a lot, actually. It's a lot of Mitchell. I don't want to, like, of all the lineups I've saved, are they all Mitchell? Mitchell. 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 Got 4 Mitchells that I've saved. Oh, there's a 5th Mitchell. Gross. Yep. See, there's too much Mitchells. This is what, if I don't keep track of this, I am going to play so much Keith Mitchell without even realizing it. Or I'll include these lineups in my final builds to show my exposures, and Keith Mitchell won't be selected at all in good combination of lineups. And yeah, anyways, this is a good lineup. I like this one. It reminds me of another one that we just did. Had Corey Connors, Keith Mitchell, and Taylor. Yeah. This one, okay. Do we want to kick Mitchell out, Ryan? I'm not sure. I'm gonna kick him out just for now. If you tell me no, keep him in, I'll bring him back. Kevin Na was blacklisted for me, then he left, and I played him. Yes, that's so good. I don't know if there's a better, literally that is so great. It's like you give him a pass for going to live, and then at the Masters he just breaks your heart again. Dude, that is so funny. That's the best. That's the best story I've heard in a while when it comes to DFS golf. Oh, thanks for sharing, by the way. Oh man, Jordan. Dude, I can't stop laughing. That's so funny. Oh my god. Jordan Spieth, Sung J.M., Justin Thomas, Seth Theegala, JJ Spawn. This is a solid lineup, Ryan. Do you like this lineup? Spieth, M, Thomas, Theegala, JJ Spawn, and Svensson. Like this lineup. I mean, I'm not a huge Spawn fan, especially at a course like this, but this isn't terrible. I blacklisted Luke. Oh, I look at that. Look at this guy. Comes in trying to be all fancy with adding list into blacklisted. I mean, he didn't have to add it. He just capitalized it. Yeah, no. Hey, and he's been proven to be, or he's proving to be a bum this entire season. Like, what the heck happened to Luke List? By the way, still really bad at putting, Luke List, and him and Woodland. Did anyone watch Woodland last week at the Mexico Open? Like, he was a featured group Sunday. I didn't have the Golf Channel. Like, I don't have Golf Channel anymore, so I couldn't watch coverage between 12 and 3. So I was kind of subjected to watching Woodland during the featured groups on ESPN Plus. Holy crap! He had a 4-foot putt, and he literally, his putter, like, this is the face of his putter, just went straight to the right. Didn't even go straight forward. It went, and he pushed his putt. Like, he missed the cup. He had a 4-foot putt, and he missed the cup because he just straight up pushed it. That is alarming. Like, when it comes to a professional golfer not being able to hit a putt straight, that's insane. It's insane to me. I get it and I don't. You're that good where you can still be on tour, but then you suck that bad at putting. It's insane. But that's exactly Luke List. Same way. Spieth, Thomas, Fleetwood, Moore, Montgomery, and Cam Davis. I do like Cam Davis. Not a huge fan of playing salaries together in the 7K range, but whatever. It's fine. Ryan goes, that's not bad. You must hate Toasty. I don't hate Toasty. Who said who hates Toasty? Woodland, not to be bad. You've been playing better. I know. Yeah, Woodland's, I mean, I was watching him on and off, and he would, like, he'd miss so many bad putts, and then I think he made a bogey, so he went to like +1 or something like that on his round. And then I tune in again, he's back to -1 or -2. It's like, oh, okay. And then you watch him for a while, and he burns a bunch of edges, makes a bogey, and then birdie or something like that, and he ends up finishing 3 or 4 under, or whatever it ended up being his final round. Maybe I'm misremembering, but yeah, he seems like a headache to play. Speaking of 6K golfers, I don't mind playing Michael Thompson. I think probably doesn't get you anything better than, 8th to 20th place. Like, I don't think he's going to win a tournament. I don't think he's going to be in top 5. But at $6,500, if you needed some, like, we've seen optimal lineups grab golfers who are in 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th place. I think Michael Thompson could hit that spot. I have no issue playing someone like a Michael Thompson. And when it comes to Rainmaker cards, he's very cheap. I think you can get him for like 50 cents for his core cards. And if you want to get a rare card, I think I picked one up for $2, maybe even less. I don't mind Michael Thompson, especially if you need to slot him in somewhere. Again, don't fall in love with the 6K golfer, so my exposures to him are going to be 4% or less. But I don't mind Michael Thompson. And this lineup, by the way, Spieth, Hovland, Thomas, Seth Theegala, Taylor Moore, Michael Thompson. Yeah, so I'll just prove to you. I like this lineup. We're saving it. Doesn't have Keith Mitchell in it. I'm cool with that. I am going to build 2 more lineups, Ryan, and then I'm going to move on to Shot Like Harden with the 3 golfers that he had mentioned. Spieth, Hovland, Thomas, Theegala, Taylor Moore, Jimmy Walker. Yeah, I'm kind of out on Jimmy Walker. Like 2 good weeks or 1 good week, and then finished it or followed up with an okay week, and then yeah, I'll do one more. I don't want JJ Spawn, and I don't want two Taylors together. Siwoo Kim, though, to go with Spieth, Thomas, Fleetwood. That's pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and bring back Siwoo. I'm going to build you one more, but I want to get rid of... Oh, man, I just can't do Taylor Montgomery anymore. Watching him swing a golf club is just like scratching my eyeballs, just raw. I can't look at it anymore. Spieth, Hovland, Thomas, Fleetwood, Moore, and Neesmith. Not terrible. I'm going to sneak in one more. Lipsky. Okay, not terrible. Seems like that was a good combo of golfers to select. Oh, Ian, I didn't even see. Callum Tarrant is an absolute won't play for me. Oh, we got to know this story, Ian. You got to let us know. Why no Callum Tarrant? I feel like he couldn't have ever been more than a 6K play for most of his events. Sure, he was probably a 7K play in some, but which one? Which event did he burn you? Or was it multiple events? Need to know. Let's see. Cam, is that, yeah, Cam Young, Sam Burns, and Jason Day. Yeah, that seems like a solid core. Let's see here. Cam Young, Jason Day, Samuel Burns. They are not playing together, so it all works out. Ooh hoo hoo. And we didn't break. It didn't break. Look at this lineup. Sungjae Im, Jason Day, Cam Young, Sam Burns, Chris Kirk, and Taylor Pendrith. Yeah, I can get behind that. That's a solid lineup. Pretty good. Another good lineup. Using Sungjae, Chris Kirk, and Poston. I gotta remove Kirk. I don't want to see that much Kirk. Let me bring back JT Poston though. Jason Day, Cam Young, Sam Burns, Keith Mitchell. Of course, we're gonna see Keith Mitchell. I'm also gonna kick Keith Mitchell out. Nah, I'll keep him on for a little bit here, but I'm most likely gonna remove him a couple lineups in. I don't want to remove the opportunity to see a good Keith Mitchell lineup, so we'll keep him on for a little bit longer. Sungjae, Jason Day, Cam Young, Sam Burns, Emiliano Grillo, and Brendan Todd. I feel like we're probably going to see a lot of this Sungjae starting at the top. Although now I say that, Jordan Spieth shows up, but primarily because when we use a 9K, 87, 86, we don't have a lot of room to work with unless we drop down in the 6K range, which is interesting that the optimizer isn't doing. But we'll probably get there. This lineup, though, Jordan Spieth, Jason Day, Cam Young, Sam Burns, JT Poston, and Ben Griffin. I like this lineup, which I'm going to save. Ian giving us his story on Callum Tarrant. It was one event, the American Express. He didn't make the cut at the American Express after just T2 has only made one cut since. Hey man, I'll say this. The American Express, the cut ends up being like -8, -9 every single year. That can be challenging for some golfers, especially rookies. You know, I think you should give them a pass. It's fine. I think it's okay, and it's a perfect 6K golfer profile. One top 10 in the last year. That's on point. That's on par with 6K golfers. Remember, don't fall in love with the 6K golfer, but don't be afraid to play him either. He's supposed to be an up-and-comer. Maybe he still is. Maybe it's just been bad course fits. You know, this overseeded schedule everything's been overseeded. Maybe he's just not that great on overseed. By the way, did he go from the Sony Open to the American Express? Is that where he had his top 2? I'm gonna put that on a shirt. Never fall in love with the 6K golfer. It'll be like on the front side, it'll say always play a 6K golfer, and then on the back side, it'll say never fall in love with a 6K golfer, just to be like super confusing. But there are enough 6K golfers to go around that you can build 100 unique lineups and never have more than 4%. And you will also not have exposure to some 6K golfers with 4% exposure or less. So you can still get all of the exposures that you want in the 6K range. It just, you know, it'll never be overexposed, put it that way. One more lineup with Keith Mitchell available. If he keeps getting paired up with Wyndham Clark, I'm just gonna kick him out. Sungjae Im, Jason Day, Cam Young, Sam Burns, Keith Mitchell, and Ben Taylor. There we go. We're dropping down the 6K range, but instead of going into the 10K range with our top guy, we just grab, what, another 8K golfer? Is that what it was? No, never mind. Keith Mitchell and then Ben Taylor. We're kicking Keith out. Sungjae Im, Jason Day, Cameron Young, Sam Burns, Taylor Moore, and Matt. Yeah, I can't do Matt Wallace. Im, Day, Young, Burns, Montgomery, Andrew Putnam. There we go. Here's a different lineup. I like this one. Did I already save a Sungjae Im lineup? Yeah. Im, Jason Day, Cam, Sam Burns, Kirk, and Pendrith. Yeah, we can do this. I'll save this one. It'll probably be like my only Taylor Montgomery lineup. I can't. This would actually be a good course fit for him, but I do not like the way he swings his irons. I can't get behind it. All right, 2 more lineups, and then I'll get to the next one if we have any. I don't remember what would be in the queue right now. I think this is it. If anyone is in the chat that wants to see some lineups built, give me 2, 3, 4 golfers and we'll build some lineups around that. Otherwise, I'll probably tinker with ideas like lineups that I have, and we can go from there. Let's see what we can do with kicking Sungjae Im out. I mean, I think Sungjae is a great play this week, but the fact he keeps pairing up with Day, Young, and Burns, I want to see something different. Okay, and here we go. We got something different right here. I like this. Jason Day, Cam Young, Sam Burns, Corey Connor. I'll save that one. Day, Young, Burns, Kuchar, Clark, Davis. Oh, I should have saved that one. Which... yeah, that's fine. Keegan Bradley and Joel Damon. Okay, I can do that. You want to see what guys up top will be selected with those 2 guys? Homa, Day, Cam Young, Burns, Grillo, Aaron Rai. Now, this is a lineup that I probably would never put together, but I like the upside of it for sure. Homa, Day, Young, Burns, Grillo. Sure. I don't see how I'm going to build a lineup like this ever, like when I go and do my own lineups, so we can keep this. Most of these lineups, by the way, I dump into the dime time just because they're not what I like look at, but I think it's worthwhile. Some of these are really good, and I get to keep track of where I put them. So if any of those lineups do well, I'll know that it most likely came from chat. Homa, Day, Young, Burns, McCarthy, and Will Gordon. It's another good lineup. Another really good lineup. I don't want that much Homa exposure, though, but this is a good lineup. It's a very good lineup. Shot like Harden, does this get the sex appeal pass or acknowledgement from you? I don't even know what the hell to call it. Does this pass? your criteria. I don't know what else to say. Let's see here. So Bradley and Joel Damon. Barry R goes, can you find out how many 6K golfers were in the top 20 in 2021, please? And let's see. JK Lawrence goes, I'm also glad Day is back, being one of your favorite players. Yeah, all those lineups are pretty darn good. Let's see here. So you want all 6K golfers in 2021 that were in the top 20? Okay. Actually, yeah, I'll do it this way. I was gonna say I could probably just you had 5 or 6. 6, Luke List at $6,800, Scott Piercy at 62, Satoshi Kodaira at 61, Ben Martin 64, CT Pan 64, and JJ Spawn 61. So those are your 6K golfers in 2021 that were inside the top 20. You are welcome, sir. All right, back to building lineup. We are going with Bradley and Damon. Joel Bucket Hat Damon. Look at this build. So we put in Bradley, we put in Damon, and what we get in return is 2 10K golfers, Patrick Cantlay and Tony Finau, to go with Adam Scott and Taylor Pendrith. That's insane. 2 10K golfers, really? Ian, do you want me to kick anyone out from here? Because Joel Damon is the lowest ranked guy on the list, but we can force out some people. I'm actually gonna force out Finau. You let me know whoever you'd like out. Just tell me remove so and so, and I can bring back Finau. Next one's a bit more balanced. Cantlay, Young, Tommy Fleetwood, Bradley, Scott, Damon. Also, if you want Adam Scott removed, let me know. Adam Scott's just gonna show up a bunch. How can you not love the one with Scott? Oh, I love any lineup that has Scott in it. Of course, you know this. I'm gonna kick out Scott. On board with removing Finau. Okay. Here's a pretty balanced lineup. Cantlay, Young, Fleetwood, Mitchell, Bradley, Damon. Let's move Mitchell. Let's remove Mitchell. But it looks like Cantlay shows up a bunch. Cantlay is going to be your top salary guy that goes with these golfers. You want me to remove Cantlay? I certainly can. I can just X him out as well. Another decent one. Cantlay, Day, Fleetwood. So 10-9-8. Keegan Bradley, Kirk, and Damon 7-7-7. Not terrible. Pretty good. Let's remove Fleetwood. Here we go. Here's a different one. Spieth, Hovland, Thigala, Bradley, Kirk, Damon. Wow. We've already kind of had this combination before. Still pretty solid, though. I don't even know who to kick out of this one. Probably Kirk. $7,500 Kirk. see one without Cantlay? Okay, I'll cross Cantlay off right now, just so it doesn't even try to select him. Looks like we're going to be on the Spieth Hovland train, or the Spieth Hovland Theegala train. So this seems to be a natural core of three golfers: Spieth, Hovland, Theegala. Saw a bunch of them, but I think Theegala is just a glue piece that brings together some of these higher price guys. He's probably in a couple of the buckets that I have set to make sure I grab at least one from. So that's probably why he's being selected a bunch, because he's probably the best value in that bucket. Clark, Bradley, and Damon. Yeah, I like this lineup. This is a solid lineup. I know I'm not gonna roster much of Joel Damon, so this is definitely my favorite Joel Damon lineup so far. So I'll go ahead and put that here as well. Spieth, Hovland, Theegala. Okay, so we're seeing a bunch of that. I'm probably gonna kick out anyone you would plug in for. I was just gonna say I'll probably kick out Theegala. So I think what most of the industry likes to do is, like, you know, find a pivot from Theegala. If I kick him out, the buckets are gonna do their work, and we're gonna find a different quote unquote pivot just naturally. So I don't think we'll see it. If we do see Spieth and Hovland lineups, it'll be interesting, but more often than not, combinations of golfers will just be removed, and then it'll create new combination of golfers. Spieth, Cam Young, Keegan Bradley, Taylor Moore, Joel Damon. I like that lineup a lot. I like that lineup a lot. Pretty darn good. A lot of win equity. And solid low end names like Taylor Moore. I think you can trust. Joel Damon, not my favorite, but that is your anchor, one of your anchors in this lineup, so I'm not gonna knock him terribly. Bradley, and then Young, and Jordan Spieth. Now, if I was to say, so this is good, like a good GPP lineup, I wouldn't trust Spieth and say cash. So I'd probably, you know, kick out Spieth and just see what replaces him. Plus, we've already seen a bunch of Jordan Spieth lineups, so now we kick out Spieth and we get Hovland, and we get a more balanced build. So this is definitely a better cash lineup. Victor Hovland, Sung J M, Tyrrell Hatton, Wyndham Clark, Bradley, and Damon. Not terrible. But how about this? We say no to Hovland. I just want to see some, like, a range of like 10, 9, 8, 7, something like that. Instead, we get Homa, Young, Clark. So Clark, Wyndham Clark seems to be added with Bradley and Damon a bunch. I'm gonna kick him out, although I do like him as a play this week at $7,800. That seems like a pretty decent value. And then we get Taylor Moore. So how about I kick out Homa? If anything, I'm giving you some decent cores to go with Bradley and Damon, or we just try to figure out these cores and go from there. So I'm gonna kick Sung Jae out. I just want to see something different than what we've been seeing. There we go. There we go. Finally, Xander shows up. I haven't seen a lot of Xander, but we had to kick out Cantlay, Finau, Spieth, Hovland, and Homa to get to Xander. So take that for what it's worth. Xander, Cam Young, Brian Harman, Bradley, Taylor Moore. So Taylor Moore seems to be a glue piece with Bradley and Damon. That's pretty solid. A lot of Cameron Young. What about no? Yeah, beat you to the punch. So we took out him. Let's see here. Do I want to take? Yeah, let's take Taylor Moore out of there. I probably, looking at this lineup, I'd take out Harman. I know course history, yada yada yada. I'm not a huge Harman fan this week. Schauffele, Young, Hatton, Bradley, Damon, and Seamus Power. Not terrible. Probably not going to play Seamus, though. Here we go. I like this lineup. Schauffele, Young, Hatton, Bradley, Damon, Pendrith. I like that lineup a lot. Like, I like Pendrith kind of fitting in at the end. Seems like a high value play. I am going to kick out Hatton though. Xander, Cam Young, Brian Harmon, Bradley, Montgomery, Damon. Not terrible. All right, 2 more lineups. I'm going to kick out Harmon. Shoffley, Young, Burns, Bradley, Damon, Griffin. It's another good lineup. I don't mind that lineup at all. And I need to kick someone out, so let's kick out Griffin. Xander, Cam Young, Keegan Bradley, Taylor Montgomery, Joel Damon, KH Lee. Yeah. Not my favorite. Not my favorite. Do we have any other lineup builds out there? We want to see some lineups. Let me know. I am going to go, let's see here. So what I know I'm not going to play Finau, and I'm probably not going to play a lot of Max Homa. So a lot of times what I like to do is maybe think of the lineups that I just wouldn't build. Like I wouldn't even come close to. So a lot of my, I won't really, here's what I'd do one of a couple things. One, build the most optimal Tony Finau lineup, you know, until I found some players that I liked. So like Finau, Thomas, Theegala, Mitchell, Kirk, Scott. Yeah, this seems like a solid lineup. I would probably save this lineup, and this would be my Tony Finau. I would have no issue with this. I would probably kick Chris Kirk out and Mitchell because they're going to show up a ton in my other lineups. And they're not really my favorite plays in those ranges. So I'll probably kick those guys out, and then I would do a Finau and Homa lineup and build enough lineups to find just one good one that I like, which I don't really have to go very far because I like this one. So this would be, I would then cross out Finau for all of my lineups. Remember, I build 100 plus lineups. So now I'm taking Finau out of my player pool. So I really like this lineup. Let's see, how many Finau lineups did I already create? I didn't save any of them. Whatever I created, I did not save any Tony Finau lineups. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to do this real time with you guys. So we shall save this one. And basically what I like to do is save them off to the side. Kind of like what I'm already doing. But let's, you know, like I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to highlight it just to remind myself that these are what I'm going to do with my Finau and whatever lineups you want to call. So like I already said, if I clear everything out and I run or rerun a Tony Finau lineup, it'll give me that same lineup that I said, ooh, I like this one. So boom, save it. Easy peasy. Now I'm done with Tony Finau. I am not going to play any more Tony Finau lineups. This way, it's, you know, like I probably would have gone much further into building lineups. Like if I truly didn't like the lineup that showed up, I'd keep run optimize, and it'll keep kicking golfers out that, you know, don't show up or that I don't really care for. Like this one, it's all right. Don't mind it. And I would never do like another 10K golfer to go with Finau. I feel like I lose all, I mean, not last week with Rom, but this week, I feel like I'd lose all win equity in the other remaining 4 golfers. Like, I just don't want to put Finau and Cantlay together. I don't like this lineup, so I'd run optimize again. It just happened to be I like that first lineup, and I'm probably going to live with that one. Although this one right here, I would save this one and just move on. I'd also keep track of like my exposures to Theegala, Mitchell, McCarthy, and Adam Scott, and say if those exposures were high, we've already, you know, built a bunch of lineups together already. I would exclude Adam Scott. I probably would exclude Keith Mitchell, and then keep running lineups until I saw something I liked. So that's how I would do any of my Tony Finau lineups. I already saved enough Max Homa lineups to know that I'm not going to do any Max Homa. So what I could do, and Ian, you're welcome, by the way, since you asked for the optimizer, if there were golfers you just didn't want to play completely, you just select this, delete. That way the optimizer won't even consider playing Tony Finau. Another way you could do this is just hit no. I have had an optimizer build a lineup after I've already, you know, locked out no. Sometimes it can bug out when you put too many conditionals together, and it's like the only way we can build a lineup is if we grab one of these guys that you say no. So that's what it ends up doing. One way to get around that is just delete it. Delete the whole entry. That way the optimizer isn't confused whatsoever. There's nothing there for it to select. So I would do that. I'd also remove Homa, and then I'd probably make up some more decisions, like who do I want to anchor lineups around. What I've done in the past is, you know, I'd grab out of these 4 10K golfers. Like I already told you, I'm not going to build any Finau lineups. So now I have 3 10K golfers left, which is wonderful. And I'm not going to do any Max Homa lineups. So basically I'm just going to remove these guys to remove confusion. So essentially I've got these 10K golfers. I will pair up each of the 10K guys, the remaining 10K guys, with each of the remaining 9K golfers. So really, what do I have? I have 6 9K golfers. So obviously, if I build one lineup each with a 10 and each 9K golfer, that means we go 3 times 6. That's 18 lineups. So if I'm building 100 lineups, you know, just quick math, I could do it 5 times. I can create 5 combinations of Rory and Morikawa, Rory and Spieth, Rory Fitzpatrick, Rory Hovland, Rory Im, Rory Day. So I make 5 combinations with those in there. And as I'm building lineups, I'm keeping track of basically all the other exposures I have down here. Now, one of the bad things doing this on Excel is Excel can only do so much. So basically you can start building lineups, which will save your, you know, ownerships. The exposures will, you know, validate, or the spreadsheet, the optimizer will validate your max exposure versus how much you're owning that golfer already. And it'll just not select that golfer, which is great in the long run, but in the short run, those types of validations are too soon. They're too soon in lineup building, because just building one lineup, or let's say building 2 lineups, means you will have 50% exposure, you know, with the golfers that were already selected, which means those guys will be kicked out of your lineups for the next 3 or 4 runs of running the optimizer. And you could actually literally miss out on an optimal lineup doing it that way. Whereas if you were to do this like through Python online, it would create, you know, thousands of combinations with all these different lineups. And, you know, depending on what your metric was, it would actually give you the most optimal lineups. Like it would then go throughout all of those combinations of lineups and go, okay, this Cantlay Hovland lineup is a really good lineup. This is better than any other combination of, say, Hovland and Xander, or Hovland and Rory, or anything like that with these 4 golfers, you know, the other 4 golfers, because it's not so much what matters up top with say Hovland and Cantlay, or Hovland and Schauffele, or Hovland and Rory. It doesn't quite matter up there. It matters with the 4 golfers that are added with it. So there are limitations with Excel that I absolutely hate, because they're, you know, I create these, I have this to create unique lineups. Well, this will kick out certain golfers and we'll never see them again unless you clear everything out. I don't necessarily like that, but at the same time, I don't want to see the same golfer show up over and over and over again. So we already, you know, Adam Scott we saw a bunch of times, Keith Mitchell we saw a bunch of times. and I can't remember the third golfer that shot like Harden said, but yeah, it just showed up. It showed those 3 golfers all the time, and that's just how this Excel stuff works. I still love it. Like, I still love my optimizer. It helps me build lineups every single week. So basically what I was getting at is I'd probably delete Max Homa and Tony Finau as opposed to just hitting no, and then probably build my lineups you know, the way I said, you know, pair up each 10K with the 9K, probably 4 times, not 5 times. That way I still have some wiggle room to make some balanced lineups and go from there. Ian goes, are there any metrics that you might recommend when it comes to ranking lineups that you might plug into Python? I've thought about this when it comes to metrics. I think every week I'd want to create a 1,000 point scale, essentially, when it comes to metrics. Like, yeah, I suppose how I have it right now, I actually do like it, where it does fluctuate. I mean, it still gives the best players in the field quite an advantage when it comes to the metrics, but when you're talking about lineups, it would basically do what it's doing right now, where it would total up the metric right here. So essentially, you know, I could keep hitting run optimize without creating unique lineups. Like, obviously I have it built to do this, but let's just say I keep hitting run optimizer and it just no, it would take out the lowest. It would do 2 checks. One would be, it would take out the lowest rated golfer, build another lineup to see if the 5 golfers outside of the one that was removed can be added with any of the other golfers that are in the field and also following the buckets. And it would simultaneously do that while then also looking at other combinations. Maybe we don't do Tony Finau, instead we do Patrick Cantlay with these 4 golfers. And if that Patrick Cantlay with these 4 golfers, again, we exclude, say, Adam Scott here. If that combination of golfers with whatever the 6th golfer is, you know, it becomes, I guess, I'm going to confuse everybody listening, but it would be doing these checks simultaneously to see every combination of Young, Thigala, Mitchell, McCarthy lineups to go with like Finau, Xander, or McIlroy or Cantlay, and then whatever this golfer is down here. Like, it would just keep rotating all that kind of stuff just to figure out you know, what are the best groupings, because you do want to build the most optimal combination of golfers that you possibly can have. Obviously Excel's not going to do that for you, but Python probably would be able to, because it's going to build you know, billions and trillions of combinations, and then it's going to rank order, and then it's also going to take into account your exposure levels. So it's still going to give you the best lineups put together considering your exposures and considering the combinations. And even if you wanted to put more conditionals in there and say, like, I don't want to pair Cantlay and Matt Fitzpatrick up in more than 10% of my lineups, you could also add that too. And so it would take that into consideration. So there's a lot of things that you can do on Python, but it would take a really good coder. I'm not the person that would be able to do it. I probably have to have help for someone to give me that type of coding, or to provide that code for me. Alex McCullough, nice to see you again. Will Cantlay's group go off right before Rory's group? Will Cantlay's slow play get into Rory's head so much he quits 9 holes? Cantlay's group goes right off before Rory's, huh? Game 10. Game 8. Yeah, you're right. Cantley does go right before Rory. I don't think there's going to be any issue with the slow play. I think that might have been overblown or blown up. Like, I don't think Cantley is as slow. He does look slow during his time to hit a shot, but if he's not, I mean, if he's waiting on every hole, like he said, and also his group mates also validated that at the Masters and also at the RBC Heritage, I don't think there's an issue. And even the Zurich Classic, by the way, if you're watching the feature group coverage, the announcers there were going, well, this isn't Cantley's fault. Like, literally, they're waiting on the next group. So, yeah, who knows? It would be great, though. If that's the case, all the more power to play Patrick Cantley. I also don't mind playing Patrick Cantley this week. I really like it. Cantley is one of my favorite golfers to play in general. Has one of the most all-around games. So I like Cantley. Barry goes, gonna watch the Laker game. Good luck, everyone. Oh yeah, absolutely. Let's hit a big one. Let's hit the optimal. And then we can just brag away online. All that good stuff. Cantley is slow as fuck. I followed him a couple times. I mean, his whole execution is slow. That's what I'll say. It is slow. He walks slow. He analyzes everything very carefully. Yeah, I know he's slow, but if he's still waiting, to hit to the green or waiting to tee off, there really isn't an excuse. We can't really rush someone who can't go anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Chat rate. I'm looking at my my statistics when it comes to the stream. I wonder what chat rate. Chat rate must be like how many people are messaging at one time. Has to be. Let's see here. I like the lineup that's on the screen right now. Cantley, Thomas, Fleetwood, Mitchell, Kirk, Scott. Seems like a easy one. Look at that. That's actually Cantley and Thomas, the thumbnail pictures. Dude, okay, so shot like Harden saying him standing over putts, pitter patter his feet for like 3 minutes. Yeah, I would get in his head. I would if I was playing golf with him. This is a fun thing I like to discuss on the Fantasy Golf Pod whenever I get a chance. The mental game, like the game within the game. When I'm playing with certain players, I like to get in their head. I would try to get in Cantley's head and just give him crap for doing the little foot thing, like happy feet. Like I would literally call him happy feet. Like I would try to figure out some kind of insult to call him based off of penguins, and then the happy feet movie. That's literally what I call him. Probably not the best, but literally. That's what Byron should actually have his next thumbnail be. Should be Patrick Cantley with a penguin's lower body from that movie, the Happy Feet movie. That's perfect. That would be perfect for Patrick Cantley. So I like this lineup. A lot of my Cantley lineups, I don't want to see Mitchell in them. I don't mind Kirk. I mean, I'm probably going to build this lineup at some point in time. So I've got no issue with it. How about this? Yeah, let me remove Keith Mitchell. Alex says, we also have Team Hotheads with Siwoo and Hatton in the same group. That's amazing. That is... It'd be great if they like fed off of each other. Like this would be the ultimate test when it comes to groups playing together. Like Do you think that's a synergy for them, or do you think that's like a handicap for them? You know, if they feed off each other's hot-headedness and both get pissed off and slam clubs, break clubs, do you think that hurts them more, or does it help them more? Patrick Cantlay, Young, Fleetwood, Montgomery, Kirk, and Adam Scott. So Justin Thomas gets removed from the group, and Cam Young replaces him. And then we replace Mitchell with Taylor Montgomery. Yeah, I don't like Taylor Montgomery this week. I don't want to play Montgomery. I really don't like that golf swing. It's gross. This is an interesting one. Cantlay, Hovland, Hatton, Chris Kirk, Adam Scott, Pendrith. I'd rather keep Pendrith and remove Hatton. Alex says it's more of who breaks their putter first. Mullinax might be playing solo by Friday. You know what though? Mullinax is what, like a 6'4" brute? Maybe he keeps them in check. Or maybe he also breaks a putter with them. Who knows? We don't know. Cantlay, Hovland, Fleetwood, Kirk, Scott, Pendrith. Yeah, I like that lineup a lot. I'm gonna remove Fleetwood though. I want to bring back Pendrith one more time. It's the opportunity to pick him again. Let's see if he can be in a different lineup with Cantlay. Or can. Cantlay, M, Young, Kirk, KH Lee, Taylor Pendrith. Yeah, I don't like KH Lee that much. I mean, I do. I'll play him this week, but I don't want to waste a Pendrith lineup on KH Lee. Cantlay, M, Young, Kirk, Scott, and Will Gordon. There we go. That's a lineup I can get behind. I like that one. Yeah, keep swapping those 6K golfers with that core. That just makes me like the core that much more, and then it gets replaced. Xander, Cantlay, Kirk, Scott, Griffin, Pendrith. Yeah, no. Nope. 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 Cantlay, M, Young, Kirk, Scott, Sepp Straka. Hey man, I can get behind Sepp Straka this week. That's fine. I think that's fine. I am gonna remove M though. I don't want to see the same thing over and over again. It's good to see. I like this lineup a lot. Cantlay. Oh no, I don't want to leave $700 on the table. So I probably would remove Pendrith, or bring back Pendrith once again. I don't want to leave $700 on the table. Instead, we leave $500 on the table. It's so stupid. Oh, man. Cantlay, Hovland, Thomas. Ooh. Adam Scott, Brennan Todd, Svensson. That's close. I don't want to see Brennan Todd, but I do like seeing the top four. And Shane Lowry. No, thank you. Next. Cantlay, Hovland, Wyndham Clark, Chris Kirk, Cam Davis. See, I like Cam Davis, but I don't. Don't like that one. Cantlay, Fitzpatrick, Cam Young, Adam Scott. Jeez. Some of these lineups can get kind of gross. Maybe that's what's good for a GPP, but ugh. Cantlay, Thomas, Young, Clark, Scott, Hughes. It's okay. Not terrible. Nope. Admittedly, not terrible, but no thanks. Morikawa with Cantlay. Then it's Wyndham Clark, Kirk, Scott, Seamus Power. So here's what I'm going to do. We're going to get Kirk out of there. I'm actually going to bring back Riley. What other ones did I see that I wanted back? And Cam Davis. Not Hadwin, sorry. Davis. Cantlay Thomas, Clark, Taylor Moore, Cam Davis, Adam Scott. It's actually a pretty solid lineup. I like that one. I'm actually going to save it. We got our favorite jokester back in the chat. Light-em-ope. Or hello, do you think Radisson Clark will be a good play? No, I don't, actually. I feel like that's gotta be Matt Wiley, right? I've seen the joking account on a few of the YouTube live videos over the last couple weeks. Gotta be. Just gotta be, right? Am I right? Let's see here. What was I gonna... Wyndham Clark. I'm gonna kick him out. Cantlay, Day, Young, Moore, Scott, and Neesmith. I don't know about Neesmith. Well, actually, it's not a terrible lineup. I'm glad to see Day in a lineup. There we go. This is a Barry R favorite here with Streelman. Cantlay, Day, Young, Taylor Moore, Adam Scott, and Streelman. Yeah, I'll save that one. All right, we got any more combinations that people want to see? I might call it quits here soon, just depending on what you guys want to see. Cantlay Thomas, Tom Kim. I don't see a lot of Tom Kim. Well... Cantlay, Thomas, Kim, Moore, Scott, Damon. That's fine. Interesting. Super interesting. I'm going to save this lineup. I like this lineup a lot. Cantlay, Thomas, Kim, Cam Davis, McCarthy, Adam Scott. Yep, sign me up. Sign me the hell up. $17 saved lineups. MFN. Another jokester. Could you combine Cantlay with Cantlay? Maybe. What would I need to add? What do you think? What would help combine those two? Here we go. Cantlay, Day, Cam Young, Taylor Moore, Adam Scott, Mark Hubbard. I don't mind that lineup at all. Lots of Adam Scott. Well, we already knew that, right? Michael Hood, top Kim, top 40. Or top Kim. There we go. Yeah. Tom Kim, top 40. Of course. I'd be comfortable doing Tom Kim top 20. By the way, welcome, Michael Hood. I've never seen your name in the chat. Do you have any golfers you want to see lineups built around using the bucket system? Give me like anywhere between 2 to 4 golfers to build lineups around, and we'll see what the optimizer spits out. Okay, fair enough, MFN. Fair enough. Patrick Cantlay, Cam Young, Shane Lowry. That's interesting. Keegan Bradley. I don't mind seeing that. Patrick Rogers, Denny McCarthy. Yeah, I haven't seen this lineup built, so we'll save that one. Let's see here. Ian, did we do any Eric Cole, Sam Byrne combos? We did not. I haven't seen Eric Cole show up in any of these lineups so far. He a 6K golfer? Kim, you wouldn't see this lineup built earlier. So now, see, when you cross out some names, now we get to some interesting combinations of golfers that their point totals might not even be that far off. So if you were to put something like this into Python, you might get to some of these lineups and disregard some of the ones that we just saw previously, especially if we set exposures to a certain level and we have those mix and match lineups together. Cantlay, Day, Lowry, Bradley, Taylor Moore, Benny Ann. I like that lineup too. Let's do one more. And then I'll get into Eric Cole and Sam Burns. Kim, Lowry, Kuchar, Bradley, Grillo. That's not terrible. I mean, there's always a Tom Kite reference in these chats. Well, I don't get it. It's probably someone I know. Gotta be like someone that lives nearby. Sam Burns. All right, let's see some Eric Cole, Sam Burns lineups. We'll cross out KH Lee. Don't care about that. Okay. So Hovland, M, JT, Burns, Griffin, Cole. Not terrible. I'm gonna actually cross out M. I think he's probably one of the more popular ones that keeps getting selected. Okay, this is a little bit more palatable. Finau, Thomas, Burns, Mitchell, Kirk, Cole. Kind of the same names we can continue to see with the optimizer, so I'll just keep removing guys that we obviously keep seeing. Finau, Hovland, Burns, Fleetwood, Pendrith, Cole. I like that lineup. That's a good one. It's 10-9, 8-8, 7-6. It's pretty good. Finau, Hovland, Burns. Yeah, that's pretty good. So of course we see Fleetwood a bunch, so let's go ahead and remove Fleetwood. Interesting, we haven't seen Adam Scott yet. You know that shows up a bunch. Here we go. Finau, Hovland, Burns, Siwoo Kim, Chris Kirk, Eric Cole. Pretty solid, honestly. Probably take out Chris Kirk. Has to be, right? Finau, Hovland, Burns, Harman, Pendrith, Cole. I don't mind that one either. Except for I don't really care for Harman. Finau, Hovland, Burns, Wyndham Clark, JJ Spawn, Eric Cole. I don't really care for JJ Spawn, but another interesting lineup. JJ Spawn, I'm gonna remove. Ian goes, I'm sure Scott will find his way into the lineup. Who knows? This is how the buckets work. Cole might be in a bucket that Adam Scott is in, and there might be a maximum that you've selected with Burns and Cole, and then that way he's not going to be ever put into a lineup because you can't put more than what I have a conditional for. So that's a possibility. It'd probably be too much work to, try to figure out what that might be, but the fact we haven't seen Scott, that probably is the case. Patrick Cantlay, Young, Burns, Bradley, Rogers, and Eric Cole. Not terrible. I mean, I like seeing, different lineups. So it's good to see, Rogers showing up a little bit here and Bradley. It's a pretty good core. Let's kick out Patrick Rogers. Michael Hood goes, what about Matt Fitzpatrick? What do you want to know about Matt? You want me to create some lineups with him in it? Or you want my general thoughts on Matt Fitzpatrick this week? Let me know. Here's a good lineup. Minus Hadwin. Ooh. Hadwin is going to actually probably do well at this tournament. This is just how it goes. I have this relationship with Adam Hadwin. I'll just like nonchalantly disregard him in a couple of the few lineups, and then he keeps showing up, and then I'll kind of get angry the fact that he keeps showing up. So I'm like, no, Adam Hadwin will not win this tournament. Like, he'll not do well at this tournament. There's no point in playing Adam Hadwin. And then what ends up happening? He top 10s. So we're at that precipice right now where I'm saying there's no way Adam Hadwin finishes inside the top 10. Mark it down. He probably will finish top 10. Finau, Young, Burns, Clark, Bradley, Cole. It's not terrible. It's a good lineup. If you really wanted Cole and Burns in your lineup, this is a good one. Cam Young just continues to show up. What if we kick him out? We get 2 9K golfers now? Maybe? We don't. We include Justin Thomas and Taylor Montgomery. Not terrible, really. This is a solid lineup. Huh. Yeah, I'm gonna save it. I was like, do I save something like this? Because I don't think I'd ever build this way, but yeah, I like it. It's good enough. This is 20 now? 19. I need one more, and I'll put all of these into the dime time. Let's see here. Potentially Kim, Im, and Cole. Okay. Tom Kim, Siwoo Kim. Who's the third Kim? Michael Kim, I'm guessing. Sung J M and Cole. It's a bit too much. A little bit too much for me. Not saying that narrative can't work for you, but it probably won't work for you. It's possible. Spieth, Hovland, Burns, Thigala, Cam Davis, Eric Cole. I really like that lineup too. It's another solid lineup. Too many good ones, man. Too many good ones. All right, I'm gonna actually remove all of these. Do we have any other combos out there? I know Michael Hood, you were talking about Matt Fitzpatrick. You think he'll do good enough this week for like top 30? Yeah, I think so. An earlier conversation I was having with chat was, you know, Matt Fitzpatrick I don't think is a good course fit. And I'm sure that's what's being touted around the industry. Probably not being a good course fit, but he's one of the best golfers in the world. So what takes precedence? What's going to beat out the other? Is his, you know, elite play going to negate the bad course fit? Or will a bad course fit negate the elite play? So it's something that I think he'll make the cut for sure. And if he makes the cut, then I think he's just a automatic top 30. So if I was giving you like a percentage, I think you have a 77%, like anywhere between 76 and 80% chance that he's going to finish top 30. I feel pretty confident in that. So it's whatever you think, but I think that's pretty decent. I think that's a pretty decent percentage. MFing, yeah, that's way too much. Way too much M. I want to know what these accounts are. This is funny. Three. I mean, if they change names, their names will be changed throughout chat. So like if I go back and I listen, if I watch this live chat, these people's names change, and I forget what they are at the moment, but they'll change, and then they'll come back the next week or whatever, and it'll be different names. I wouldn't know, Saggy Salamander. I wouldn't know. Let's see here. Sometimes when I build lineups, what I like to do is grab some names we haven't been seeing. You know, like Hayden Buckley. Haven't really been building any Hayden Buckley lineups. Same goes with like Webb Simpson or Kurt Kitayama. I'm not a huge fan of Bo Hosler, so I really don't care. A lot of these though have been showing up. Haven't really seen a lot of Ben Martin. Yeah, we built some Sam Stevens lineups only because that's what Joanne wanted. Anyone going back to Akshay Bhatia? I probably won't. SH Kim, I don't mind playing someone like SH Kim this week. You like Buckley this week? Yeah, I like Buckley too. Here, let's build a Hayden Buckley lineup. Let's do that. I'm gonna automatically, well, sure. We'll see a Keith Mitchell and Adam Scott thing show up here. Keith Mitchell, Adam Scott. There you go. Of course, they're going to show up. Finau and Thomas. So I know I don't want Finau in my lineups, but in case you wanted to see that shot like Harden, that's a good lineup. It's a really good lineup. Okay, so we take out Finau, and which subsequently takes out we take out Finau, we take out JT, and we replace that with Cam Young. But there you go, Fleetwood, Mitchell, and Scott. So the same names are showing up. So I'm gonna actually kick out Fleetwood. Maybe this will kick out Mitchell. Probably not though, right? It did. Tyrrell Hatton, Chris Kirk. Yeah, I don't want Tyrrell Hatton. You're going back to Akshay Bhatia. Yeah, I mean, I'm actually going to probably keep my exposure levels to him under 6%. Usually in the 7K range where he is, I will make an allowance for like anywhere between 12 to 14% exposure. I probably can keep it under 6. I do want to play Akshay, but I also don't want to play too much of him. Cantley, Thomas, Harmon. I already know I don't want to play Harmon that much. Harmon and Hadwin. Those guys are going to kill me this week because I don't want to play any of them. Or either of them. Cantley, Young, Mitchell, Clark, Buckley, Scott. Of course, we see Mitchell. So there we go. We're kicking Mitchell out finally. I do like seeing Cantley and Young, though. I won't lie. Shoffley, Hovland, Thigala, Buckley, Scott, Todd. That is quite the cascade of players. 1098, 777. I like it though. I'm gonna kick out Todd. It is very interesting to watch this. Like I have the stats over here to the left of the stream. So in the beginning, had a large viewership, and then it piddled down to like one person viewing it, and then it picked back up. Now we're at 10. At least it shows 10 on my side. Maybe it's not 10 live time, but I find that super interesting because I don't know how. I don't know if an algorithm is reaching out or something, but it's interesting nonetheless. It's like there's always this swing around the 3-hour mark, close to the 3-hour mark. And hey, I appreciate all you guys being here, by the way, so no worries. But it's always like a swing up, and it's like keeps me on. It wants me to stay on, which I don't have an issue staying on, but just interesting. Just observing, it's interesting. I don't want two 10K golfers at all. So we kick that out. I also don't want Hadwin in my lineups. Hey, Shally Harden, you playing Hadwin? Seen Hadwin show up so much, you gonna play him this week? Look at this balance build. Hovland, Im, Thigala, Lowry, Barf. I did not want Lowry. Nope. Hovland, Im, Thomas, Montgomery, Kirk, and Buckley. I don't mind that. You're not going to play the haha brigade? Hadwin, Harmon, haha. What would he call? What should we call him? The haha what? Well, this week it's the haha Nas. Like, nah, don't want to play him. I don't know. We gotta come up with something better than that. Yeah, well, in the beginning of the year, like the fall swing, I had no issue playing Brian Harmon, but for whatever reason, it just doesn't feel. I don't know. He'll probably tear it up at the US Open. He'll show up out of nowhere, or maybe the PGA Championship. It'll be his time to play well, and neither of us will be rostering him. Well, if he's like $6,800 Brian Harmon, yeah, sign me up. I'll play $6,800 Brian Harmon all day long. But $8,000 Harmon, I don't think so. Actually, I have an interesting take. I would say the best Harmon is actually $9,800 Brian Harmon. He doesn't seem to disappoint when he's over $9,000. And that's because he's like in the RSM Classic and stuff like that. That's when he's good for whatever reason. I'll play Harmon then. I played Harmon during the RSM Classic, and I think he finished what, second? Top 5, I'm pretty sure. But not here at the Wells Fargo. I just, no thank you. So how do I think I tell the optimizer to pick one 10K golfer and limit it to just one. And then that's how we'll build some interesting lineups here. Whoa. First Rory spotting without forcing him into the optimizer. Rory, Im, Montgomery, Kirk, Buckley, Scott. No thank you for Montgomery. No thank you for Matt Wallace. But we're getting there. Really trying to make Buckley work here. I like Buckley this week. I can do this. Schauffele, Hovland, Thigala, Buckley, Scott, Poston. Yeah, I can. This will be my 20. Yeah, I never get. Well, I shouldn't say I never get Rory right. This just seems like an obvious Rory play, which makes me feel like it's not the right play. Because I mean, I felt that way for the Masters, right? I think we all did. And then he burned us at the Masters. So yeah, you're probably, I mean, maybe it's not the right time to play Rory. Right. I probably have time for like 7 minutes more of lineups. So if anyone has like 2 to 4 golfers they want me to build lineups around, I certainly will. Don't know who's all watching still, but I know Shot Like Harden's still here. Here's an interesting Rory lineup. I like this lineup a lot. Yeah, I like this lineup a lot. Leaving $500 on the table. It's a pretty good one. See, that's our 20 up top. So this is like... These are all of our dime times. I might consider this Rory lineup for like a winner take all. Yeah, that's probably what I'll do with it. Okay, cool. Leaving $500 on the table, though. Those are all... Oh, it's going to do the same thing. Let's see here. If I get rid of Chris Kirk. The match play was Fool's Gold. With Rory, you're saying? If so, I agree. Cantley, M. Thomas. Like that combo. Buckley, Power, Pendrith. If I get rid of Power. Shoffley, Thomas, Thigala, Cam Davis, Hayden Buckley, Adam Scott. Yep. Sign me up. Another good one. How are we feeling about Cam Davis? Not like Harden. What do you think about Cam Davis this week? I don't mind Cam Davis, honestly. I'm gonna remove Thomas. The fact that the optimizer is just naturally getting to Justin Thomas is dangerous because I do want to play Justin Thomas this week. Not gonna get to JJ Spawn or KH Lee. I don't think I'd play those guys together in the same lineup at all. You think Cam's a good course fit? I agree. Also, I don't necessarily agree because of just the bomber narrative, but I think it fits his shot shape. I think a lot of the ways you play that course, he does well. So I like Cam Davis this week too. Cantley, M, Young, Buckley, Scott, Will Gordon. Yep, I like that lineup a lot too. I like Jason Day this week. I think this is a good course fit for Jason Day. I think he has the short game around here. I think a lot of people are saying that short game isn't gonna matter this week. Shot like Harden, I'm sending you the optimizer, by the way. I'm just double checking to see what the length of the rough is. Oh, this is, yeah, 2-inch rough. That's really nothing to worry about. I believe Gabe told me that there's been a lot of rainfall in the area, so the grass around the greens could actually be pretty luscious this week. Pretty lush. Might be worthwhile, you know, like short game wise. I was gonna say because Jason Day is really good at short games, so this would actually help him out, but I don't think it really matters. Jason Day is a solid play. Did I say this one already? Just building all these winner take all lineups right now. Will Gordon. Tom Kim, Joel I don't really like Joel Damon this week. Rory Hovland. Look at this. I like this lineup. Okay, that's my last Buckley lineup. This is a really good lineup. Another good Rory lineup, I should say. Okay. Any other lineups out there? Otherwise, I think we're coming close to calling her quits. Actually, I think we'll just call it quits. If you want access to the optimizer, reach out to me at SweetSpotDFS@gmail.com. Let me know that you like it. I will send it to you. Gotta be subscribed to the channel. Comment on any of the videos. Let me know who you are. That way, because I'm gonna ask for validation. But I think it's fair. You know, I spent a lot of time building the optimizer, and just asking for a little bit of participation, I don't think harms anyone. So if you want access to the optimizer, you need to have the full version of Microsoft Excel, and it has everything in here that you need. You can save lineups. I have combinations set up, so if you wanted to see, you know, what your highest combination of golfer is, I didn't go through and build all the lineups so you can see what it looks like. But if you unhide these rows or these columns right here, you can see your most common matches and how many times that golfer was matched. But I hide this for the mere fact that it's an eyesore. It's too many columns to look at when I'm, you know, streaming. Good luck to you too, Shot Like Harden. Hopefully one of us hits an optimal lineup pretty soon, or a GPP. I'm cool with that too. But anyways, you want the optimizer? Reach out to me right there, SweetSpotDFS@gmail.com. Just went by, and I will send it to you. There is a cheat sheet available. If you didn't know, check the link in the description. That'll send you to a page that looks like this. I see one person's in there already. All the information that I went over in this video and I went over in the preview video, you can find here on the cheat sheet. You can use all the filters that are up here, or go to File, make a copy. That way you can copy this information. You can alter it however you like to. This is all available to you for free by clicking the link in the description below that says cheat sheet. So it's available to you, has the bucket system on there as well. Again, this is free. So one last reminder of some monetary giveaways. There's a weekly and a monthly giveaway. All you gotta do is be subscribed, comment on any of my videos. Anybody who participated in the live chat today, you get an entry into both the weekly giveaway that will be ran next Monday, and the monthly giveaway. We ran one yesterday for the month of April, so we have a full fresh month ahead of us. $50 will be given away if we reach the goal all the way over there to the left. 550. I see I got 3 new subscribers, so thank you all for subscribing. So I'll let me update that right now. We can update that on the fly. So we are no longer at 527, we are at 530. Thank you once again. So if we get to 550, that monthly giveaway, which will be ran the first Monday of the next month, will be worth $50. If not, I give away a t-shirt with this logo on it. $15 value. You get it for free. I pay for the shipping as well. So if you want an entry into this giveaway, be subscribed and comment on any of my videos. And like I always say in my videos, if you need an easy topic to talk about, give me your 2 favorite golfers you're building your lineups around. Super simple, super easy. And then also prize picks. If you haven't signed up yet, fun way to play. Fridays are basically free. So there's a Flex Friday, $20 protected flex play. You can put up to 20 bucks on any flex, have the chance to win up to 300 to 500 bucks if you want. If not, you get your $20 back, and you can continue to play every single Friday if you want. So you get $20 from me when you sign up and you put money in your account. You got to sign up using the SweetSpot promo code. Prize Picks will match your deposit up to $100. So that 20 you put in there actually goes up to 40, and it'll only cost you that sign up information. So if you are in a state that allows it, I highly encourage you to. There's a link in the description below. Check it out. Sign up using the promo code SweetSpot, and you can play for free. That's all that I have for you guys this week. Good luck to everyone. Hopefully we take down a GPP, but hopefully we also do so while hitting the optimal lineup, going out with flair. All right, thank you guys for watching. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you in the next one. All right, bye.